the line.
1 star.
On the line.
We're in.
Tweet.
There's a tweet.
1 star.
There's that raw live
You're
stream.
in.
Raw.
Totally raw live.
Live now.
Filthy.
If you have a BMFcast movie, but you need
Tweets now.
tweets now, call BJ Wentworth. 877 live now.
I retweeted it.
Hot diggity
I
damn.
don't understand your tweet, but I'll retweet it anyway.
Okay.
I used to go in blind, and then I had to start reading because they increasingly didn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm going for an
Yeah, you're
artsy
doing some
thing.
weird Twitter.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in weird Twitter.
I'm finding that simple Twitter is the best working Twitter for me. I get more likes and retweets.
Simple Twitter. You never go full.
2 words, all lowercase,
That's
and
what I
a
mean.
photo.
Yeah, that's what gets all the likes.
Never go full retweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my childish Candido.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's the
Yeah.
most popular thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's what's working.
It's what's-
877 cash. No.
I want you to note
All right. Noting.
the homepage of my phone. There is no Twitter. It's been retired to a subfolder. I barely go in there anymore.
Yeah, but you got Reddit on there.
I do. That's the good thing. With your fucking Instagram. Fuck off with your goddamn Instagram.
There's nothing wrong with Instagram.
Your goddamn judgy.
on the ground.
I'm on the gram. Look at me. I do pictures.
That's what I do every time I post something. I'm like, I'm on the gram. I do pictures.
Look at me.
I'm doing it.
Yeah. I'm gonna be popular
Look at
on
me.
the gram.
I'm on the gram.
I'm on the gram.
Every time I post.
Mhm.
That's exactly what my brain says.
I thought it was.
I'm on the gram.
That's you.
Yep. Totally. I'm not denying it. I'm on the gram.
Yeah, I replaced the place that was Twitter is now Reddit, and it's much happier.
Well, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds delightful.
It is.
I am happy for your newfound bliss.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
So, how was everyone's weekend and Christmases and stuff?
Oh, it was a lot of Christmas.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's over now, though.
Yeah.
Let us not speak that word for another 360. Well, okay, let's just say another 300 days.
Yeah, that would be all right.
Because, yeah. I figured next year it's going to start at like
Labor Day.
Labor Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
It pretty much already started at Labor Day this year. It was
So-
there was Christmas shit out pre-Halloween.
It's true.
There's nothing happening. There's no holiday in August, is there?
No,
Not
that's
like
true.
not like a good one.
Memorial.
Mm-mm.
No, that's always like last weekend of September, or no, first weekend of September.
No, Labor Day is first.
Yeah, no, Memorial Day's in May. Yeah, Labor Day.
Correct.
Memorial. Let's see, August holidays.
August holiday.
President's Day?
No, that's in
Flag
February.
Day.
Nope.
Arbor Day.
Maybe. Who gives a fuck?
Ooh, Arbor Day.
Nobody gets Arbor Day off.
Arbor Day. They should. Loggers should.
Yeah, loggers should.
Loggers. They should celebrate trees and take a day off not killing trees.
Mhm.
Fucking loggers.
Yeah, fucking loggers.
What?
What?
Pilsners.
Indian. Jesus Christ.
You're looking at the Indian
I
national
was not
holidays?
trying to.
Or you on Bing? He just get boobs.
Just come up and be like, August, Diwali. I don't know what it is.
Okay. Cool.
I just know it's a holiday.
All right.
In India.
Yeah. What's it gonna be?
Anyway, just expect next year we'll start putting up Christmas shit after the 4th of July.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too many.
No, just your
legitimate
birthday.
United States.
Just your birthday.
I know that. That's
know
not a
that.
holiday, though.
Should be.
It's an increasingly sad day.
Oh.
uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, especially for us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Tears worthy.
sick bird.
So burned.
So burned. So burned.
So
I feel the burn.
National Waffle Day is in August.
Oh, well, fuck it. Yeah. There we
Fuck yeah. It's going to be all Christmassy on National Waffle Day. There it is.
go. Here we go.
See
The
if-
waffly. Yep. Waffly.
I don't know where I stand on waffling.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
I
get it. Oh, man. The joke
got
machine is
jokes?
working, you guys.
This guy's got jokes.
Ah.
Man, look at all them jokes I got.
Like so many nooks and crannies in that joke.
No,
No.
that's English muffins.
Oh. Well, what do you call the little divots in a waffle then, besides nooks and crannies?
Syrup squares.
Reservoirs.
Surreptitious. Syrup delicious. Secret
Yes.
syrup.
Yep. Man, I can murder some French toast right about now.
Why? We hate. Or is it like it's not like a couple hours later?
Because it's a syrup carrying device.
Oh, would you like some cookies?
Do they have syrup on them?
Ooh, are they those peanut butter cookies
Yes.
from? Oh, yeah, bring
You
me
go
one.
get them
Boy,
fucking cookies. You've been holding out on us.
I have an erection that won't quit now.
BJ has a cookie erection.
Cookie erection. Pardon my sniffling, y'all.
these are even better than last year's.
What?
Yeah?
They have, like some extra cookie crunch.
Is
like,
there
sugar pockets.
weed in them?
Do you want there to be, Chuck?
Are we going to get high?
Do you want there to be, Chuck?
Yes.
Because it's the power of suggestion with you, so I'll say yes.
Yeah.
Just sprinkle some crack on one.
Yeah, there's a weed in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I can't wait to do a weed.
I mean,
Why don't you
there's-
inject it?
There's peanuts, and they're kind of like a weed, so yes.
Wait, and a
Oh my God! Oh, just bake it in. Oh,
Serve it up over here. I don't want to knock everything over trying to reach. Oh,
You guys get to listen to me eat a cookie.
don't do that. Chuck.
What am I, Mackie? Huh? Like half a Mackie.
Glad you're enjoying my mom's cookies.
I can feel the weed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so high. I'm so wasted, man.
I'm just putting the lid back. I'm not saying you can't have more.
No, I saw what you did. Fucking gatekeeping the cookies.
I just didn't want you breathing all your ecstasy onto the other cookies.
There's ecstasy in them. Fuck yeah, man. I'm rolling, man.
Yeah, these are some Molly cookies.
What? There's Somali cookies?
Molly. Yes. Look at me. Look at me. I'm your cookie now.
We have fun here. Not before. Maybe a break. I don't want to get too high.
Okay. We all are, Evan. We all are.
I'm down about.
The problem with Chuck
30
is
pounds
the
since-
problem with Chuck is like we want to get him high, but he's like, I want crack.
Yeah, I think we've discussed this like 35
I'm just
times.
saying, like he just wants to skip ahead. You know, like read the last page of the book.
Yeah.
Which it's like
Literally,
Chuck
though.
tries cat crack, he dies.
Hey, whatever it takes, man.
The end. It's a Cormac McCarthy novel.
I love that just a regular part of our humor in 2018 is just like, you know, I won't want to die. So does everybody else. What the fuck's your problem?
Just let me die.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Do you want to die? Yes. It's not really a dark secret. I mean, just
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Please.
Yeah, treat me well. Make me an angel. Get fucking to it. Do.
Oh man, that cookie. Whew. I hit the spot.
My weekend was nice, by the way. My Christmas was quiet.
So, should we light this thing, candle thing?
I don't know. What time is it? No, we got a few minutes.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Finish this cookie.
Yeah, finish that cookie. You dirty girl.
What was the big red Dodge thing, the commercial thing when we were walking out of the place, when it was like it was such a perverted sounding contest. It's like the Big Finish or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was
the Dodge Ram Big Finish.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Now that is a tasty cookie.
What? That's the whitest you've ever sounded, Chuck. I swear to God.
No,
And that's saying
no.
a lot.
I sound
Well,
very white.
that was a tasty cookie. Well, I'll say, yeah.
Yeah, I sounded like a stand-up comedian doing a voice of a white guy.
Can't wait to tell the other fellows down at the country club about that cookie.
Yeah. White people be like, that cookie was delicious.
Black people would be like, damn, cookie! Yeah.
Boy, have your wife send my wife that recipe. I'd like to have those again. See you on the lakes this weekend, Bob.
Yeah, that.
Nailed it.
So much right.
Gonna get into my Buick and drive home to my wife and 2.5 kids. Gotta feed the dog, if you know what I mean.
You need to feed the dog?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, man, we still have a copy of Chomps.
Oh, no. We should watch that with Humps.
We should. We should have watched Humps the next
Humps
week.
and Humps.
But I think Humps is like 4 hours long.
And we decided it's rated G, so it was like, ugh.
Yeah.
More like jumps.
Humps.
We could do it for extra.
Okay.
We have all the time in the world.
Yeah, we do.
Too much, in fact. Please take some of our time.
Oh, it's from the director of Benji.
Oh.
And it's got Slim Pickens in it.
Oh, you say. From the director of Benji. Stay a while and listen.
Why is Sean Connery here?
I don't know. Benji.
Oh, boy.
Oh, we're all loopy on
Cookie.
weed cookies.
We've been
Cookies.
eating cookies. Well, how are you?
Wow.
We dipped him in the water.
That was too spicy for me.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I was like, fellers, I can't handle that much spice.
Man.
You're not supposed to use the pepper water.
Oh, man, you mean Sprite? Now that's a spicy water.
Yeah.
It just tangles my jangles.
It's got limon.
He ain't liming. Let's do a thing.
I want to do a thing.
Oh, wait, how many movies do you have for the second half? Just
Oh,
quick question.
I
bet a bunch,
have
right?
so many.
Plethora.
No, not really that many, but I'll double check here.
Okay.
At least 2. Whoa.
What?
Letterboxd is eating itself. I'm seeing the Matrix.
I want to see it.
Looks
normal to me. Should get a better computer.
It's your computer. What the? I didn't put
thing's
this
not
here.
even a
It's not
computer.
my computer.
We didn't land on Plymouth.
Ooh, I saw N movie.
I know which movie you and saw.
Do you?
Yeah,
Oh, shit. I've got 4
Are you sure?
2018 movies.
I think so.
Did I talk about it?
You mentioned it on the chat.
I have 4 2018 movies.
Did I now?
Get out of my
I
space.
don't remember what the fuck I say.
Ha! No. Stop with your touching.
I was giving you the hover hand.
Oh, okay. That's fine then. Let's see. I will have one.
Singular sensation. Every little
Three.
step you
Wait, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
What's wrong, Chuck?
I don't know.
Did you write some of them?
I
Well,
didn't.
because I don't think they show up unless you rate them.
Good bad movies,
enjoyable
enjoyable
bad
bad movies. All right, so I have
Food fight.
three movies.
Three.
Thrice is what I have.
3 off.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should talk about The Commuter, but we did that for a whole podcast.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
For the first and only half.
Yeah. You guys listening should watch The Commuter.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen 2. One was Christmas Chronicles.
That's the one I know.
We did a whole thing about that, too.
We did a podcast about that one.
Did you?
We sure did.
A whole one?
A whole one.
A whole extra.
An extra?
We sat here together and watched it.
Cool.
Yep. We broed out and watched some Kurt
We
Russell.
did. We did. We broed out and watched some Kurt Russell movies.
Russell.
Then
All
played
right,
some games.
so I got 3. They're all 2018 movies.
All right. I have
All right.
4. They're all 2018 movies.
Hell yeah.
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 All right, let's do this.
All right.
All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 449. Oh, man.
So close to the
Huh.
week number.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. So I'm Harlow.
Mackey's not here, but I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go and we watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie. Come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 joxes and robot jocks.
Robot
is
jocks.
better than acceptable.
However, just hold up.
Okay.
There are bad movies. As in Stay Away, they're getting negative sliding scale. 1 to 5
There
bags as in
are.
giant bags of trash.
No.
That's how we rate them.
You must recycle.
Reduce, reuse,
Release.
recycle,
Rewatch.
Robot jocks.
So yeah, we are just watching some movies, man. We don't have a theme. We're just
Yeah, we
doing-
do.
Oh,
It's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s Eve.
I stand corrected. We have a theme for
Yes.
1 week only.
1 week only.
It's our holiday theme.
Also, Mackey's not here, so we could watch a movie that's right at 2 hours.
Yes.
That is 1993's Judgment Night.
And we still managed to kick off on time. Go us.
Yeah.
We are professionals.
We've had some suggestions for this. And
We did, yeah.
It's been on our list, but always like in that, but it's a little too long list.
And it is.
Yeah. So, plot summary?
Okay.
Let's do one.
All right.
4 friends, on their way to a boxing match, get caught in heavy traffic, so they take a shortcut in order to get there faster. Unfortunately, it leads them to witnessing a murder, which leaves them running for their lives.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it leads to them witnessing a murder.
I don't know. It kind of sucked. We witnessed a murder.
Yeah. That was one of the longest plot summaries we've had in a long time.
Is
It
it?
is, however,
Oh.
accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, it's only 1 sentence, just with some
It's a
commas.
run-on
It's
as
meaty.
fuck sentence.
It's a meaty
They do run on
sentence.
a lot in this movie.
But they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Huh.
It's true.
But yeah.
Oh, we got people in this movie.
Oh, right. Yes, we usually do that first.
Stars and stars and stars of the BMFcast.
There's Emilio Estevez,
Uh-huh.
who you may remember from Maximum Overdrive.
Correct.
There is Cuba Gooding Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
known for Hero Wanted, One in the Chamber, Chill Factory, Endgame,
No.
and Daddy Day Camp.
I like that. The Chill Factory.
The
It's
Chill
where
Factory.
It's where they make all the chill.
I said Chill Factor.
There's not. There's why. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh.
it's all right.
Well, okay, as it's written in the fucking notes. Sorry, notes.
You wrote Factory.
No, I did not.
Oh.
You wrote Factor. I said Factor.
He did.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Dennis Leary
Yep.
from Gunman.
Gunman.
Stephen Dorff from Space Truckers, or Spruckers, if you prefer.
Right?
Jeremy Piven from The Family Man and Spy Kids 4.
Yes. he's a big extra star.
Peter Green from Endgame, or Endgame, if you
Yeah.
prefer.
You might know him as Zed from Pulp Fiction.
Mobile suit Ingam.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. It's good.
Neon Endgame Evangelion.
Oh,
And writer Jerry Yere?
Eerie.
Yuri?
Hey.
Jer Cunningham,
Yeah.
who wrote Last of the Finest. Is that an extra?
It is.
It is.
It's
yeah.
a Brian Dennehy movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Prada did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Loaded with alums.
But as far as the plot goes,
Yeah.
as it said, friends are gathering outside of Emilio Estevez's house, who is the only married family man of the bunch. He has a wife, and he has a fairly newborn child.
3-month-old.
Yeah.
3-month-old
Baby.
yes.
And all of his other friends are kind of recluses, I guess.
Loose cannons.
Yeah.
They're not recluses. They're just like
They
crazy
are
sons of bitches.
Wild
They haven't
boys.
grown up. Yeah. Cuba Gooding Jr. just drives up in a vet and is hitting on ladies on his street.
Yep.
And
He doesn't even get halfway across the street when there's a lady, and he's just like, "Hey, a lady."
who is his wife? I know I should know her.
She's the wife from ER.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her name is Linda. I think. I don't know.
Shout out to all the Lindas out there.
Shout out to all the Lindas.
If you picked
Wasn't here,
Linda
Lindas.
in tonight's name bingo.
Christine Harnos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So she looked more familiar than I guess she is.
She is from television shows.
Great.
Or
I like,
movies.
I like television.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she's just like, your friends, they just haven't grown up, and I don't want you going out. And it's just, super wet blanketing, like, your friends are crazy, and look, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s over there trying to hook up with a lady, and you're going to be hooking up with a lady, and he's like, I just want to go out for a night. It's boxing.
He's like, I've been home for 3 months straight, and it's 2 hours of boxing. I just want to be able to do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I have a fair point that you're going to ignore. I have also been home for 3 months with
Yeah.
nothing. So, thanks.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
He's going to go home and be like, I fucking told you. You were better off staying here. Everyone got shot.
Except she
Well-
went down there, too, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, and then just as she's making the point of, like, your friends haven't grown up, Jeremy Piven comes rolling up in this giant RV with a loudspeaker just announcing his presence as he's coming down the road and commenting about everything. It's not even really mic'd so that you really hear it. It's just he's just constantly blabbering in the background,
Couple
saying things.
background jokes for you to catch
Yeah.
if you can hear it.
And they board the RV, and it's like, "Whoa, shit, nice RV. How'd you get it?" And he's like,
There's a fucking Nintendo in here.
Yeah. He's like, I scammed it because I told him, I'm thinking about getting him for my sales force so we can wine and dine clients. And they're like, you're fucking sales force? You don't have a sales force?
He's like, I know.
It's never really established what the hell he is. It just seems like he's just general scumbag who lies about his position a
His
lot.
dad was a stockbroker.
Sure.
He's a self-made man.
Sure.
That's
Well,
his
again,
official line.
That's what he says, but again, he seems to be a bullshit artist, so it's probably
Right,
all made
yeah.
up. He probably just has money from
Sure.
parents or whatever.
Yes.
But then they're like, okay, well, let's go. And he's like, yeah, well, one guy bailed, so I invited somebody else. And they're like, who? And car pulls up and careens and almost hitting the front of the RV, and out pops Steven Dorff, and it's like, your fucking brother. He's, this younger punk brother, basically.
Yeah.
Replete with like fingerless gloves and all the flannel and
Yeah,
stuff.
just
that denotes like bad boy.
Hobo outfit,
Yeah.
just like, hey,
Raggedy
man.
ass IROC.
Yeah. I just rolled out of bed. Let's go. Let's fucking do
I
this.
just rolled out of bed looking like Steven Dorff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, in this time period was not a bad thing. I'm saying
No,
that
no, no.
modern day Steven Dorff, it's like, yeah, that's an accurate description. Like,
Yeah.
he always kind of looks like, I just woke up and looked like this.
Yeah,
But
he's fresh-faced
Yes.
baby hobo Steven Dorff.
he's mini Dorff. Dorff on golf. But they all get in the RV and are cruising towards the fight. They're like, yeah, party, woo!
Uh-huh.
It's like, it's the Hangover Swingers thing as they're on their way to the thing while they still have all the energy.
Yes.
And it's just like, yeah, they're drinking and
Yes,
yelling
all
a
of
lot.
them, including Jeremy Piven.
Sure, they're drinking and then they hit traffic and they're watching the fight on the satellite dish, which is like an old F-band style satellite dish, not a little tiny 12-inch dish thing.
Nope.
On the top of this RV, and they're all watching the fan like, yeah, this is much better than actually being there. Thanks for the traffic in Chicago. So of course, well, there's a brief altercation because like they're trying to merge and do something. And some guy won't let them in, so they almost get in a fight with this guy, and it shows that like Cuba Gooding Jr. has some sort of bouncer,
Training.
almost like bouncer-esque skills,
Yeah.
because it's like he just puts them in like not I'm going to hurt you, just like I'm going to flip your hand back so you can't do anything and cry uncle, kind of
Right.
thing. And the guy's like, you suck.
Yeah, like so it basically sets up the characters that Steven Dorff is ready to murder at a moment's notice.
Right.
Cuba Gooding Jr. has some skills, but he's chill about it. Emilio
Chill
Estevez
skills.
is just
He
like
has a factor of chill.
yeah. Emilio Estevez is just like, I'm a dad, so I'm staying out of this. And Jeremy Piven is just loud and
I thought
drunk.
you were going to say Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
Glad
Well,
you did.
later he
He's
will
not in this.
try to show some people the money, but
Yeah.
that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just
Uh-huh.
that's your dynamic. And,
Yep.
Emilio Estevez has to be like the calm, rational one, the family man. of all this. And Cuba Gooding Jr. right points out, he's like, dude, you would have been the first one to murder him like 5-10 years ago. And he's like, yeah, well, family and stuff. It's chilled me out.
I'm an adult now.
Right, yeah.
You can't just go around murdering.
So then they're like, well, that didn't really work. So let's get over in the emergency lane, back up, and drive off the expressway, like down the embankment, and just go into. Basically, like, it cuts from, like, yeah, all right, we'll just follow the expressway to, like, very next shot is the, like, oh, fuck, we're going to die part of town.
Trash cans are on fire. There's just trash everywhere.
Yeah.
It's shitty Chicago.
Is it supposed to be the South Side? I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's under the tracks.
There's
so.
not. I don't know. I didn't see any place like this in Chicago. The worst place in Chicago I went to was near the United Center, and doesn't look like this shit. I mean, this is like the Escape from New York, like East St. Louis bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, this is close to like the day of 9/11 style, just debris and shit everywhere blowing around, like just a million papers for some reason. Like everyone comes down here, steals a briefcase, opens it up, all the papers fly out.
Right.
It's not newspaper, it's just papers. Just people's papers flying around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just leaves and shit everywhere.
And they're still like, haha, well, good job. Where's the expressway? Why don't we ask these people? And they get on the loudspeaker and start talking to some, homeless people.
Hobos.
Yeah, the way this movie starts out, you're almost like, man, whatever happens to these guys, they fucking deserve it because they're fucking douches.
It's true.
They're just like, hey, hobos, you want to come help us out? And one of them starts reaching into his pocket, and Jeremy Piven reaches down and pulls out a gun, and they're like, haha, it's just a bottle of hooch, haha. And they're like, whoa, shit, dude, where'd you get a gun? He's like, guns, it's
America.
Chicago. I have a gun. So they're like, yeah, why don't you just put that away? So gun has been established. There's a gun.
There is.
And they
Red
just,
at 92.
yeah. Oh, the year or previous year's model.
Right, yeah, it was.
Yeah, so they just keep driving around, and Jeremy Piven is just getting more and more distracted by bullshit because everyone's yelling and slapping each other around and everything. And they hit someone.
Yeah, well, they were like doing a whole like, oh, there's a map and he's like, I don't see a map, and so he's like leaning over, and they like almost bump into a car, and a person like leaps out right in front of it, and they're like, boom, boom,
Yeah, and so they do 10 minutes of maybe it was a dog, maybe there was nothing, fuck it, we're leaving, and they all just have to convince each other, no, we need to go see what we hit.
Right.
Jeremy Piven is just like, man, fuck this.
And they find a guy that they did hit, and they're like, call the police, and he pulls out his Motorola flip phone, from the 90s.
Yep.
And like dials 911 and is like, boop, no service, guys.
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry.
It's a shitty part of town.
Whoops.
Yeah, even though it totally had service.
This is
It
a
did.
lie.
Yeah, he's lying. Jeremy Piven is shit.
So they drag this dude into the RV, like clear off like the table and whatever, the couch area in the back, and then like they're checking him out, and they're like, holy shit, wait, not only did we maybe hit you, you've been shot.
Yeah.
And this guy's just like, man, you got to go. Like, they're going to be after me. And they find, like, a wad of bloody cash in his jacket.
Yeah. They're
like,
like,
oh,
you're
this-
a thief,
yeah.
man. Fuck you. And Jeremy Piven's just like,
Oh,
dump him out.
He
Just-
goes into immediate freak-out
Yeah.
mode. Like, get this guy the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
And
but
especially
they,
when the guy's like, they're coming for me. He's like, get him the fuck out of here. Ah.
yeah, but they hear and see a cop car just whiz by a cross street, and they, like, Emilio Estevez just goes and gets in the driver's seat and is just like, let's do this. And, like, Cuba Gooding Jr. is just on the megaphone just shouting at them, like, hey, cops, hey,
SOS. I like that he says SOS. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, the cops would just be like, wait, turn around. It's funny, those cops never do shit.
No.
Like, they
No.
But eventually they are run into by a late model sedan. And they're like, what the shit? And do they stop here and get out?
Well, they get hit, and then no, I think they're like, oh fuck, get out of here, because like the car obviously deliberately hit them, and they just kind of, I think it's like the impact just causes them to like, the old like, oh, we can't stop because we just got hit. So they basically like Austin Powers, well, not completely Austin Powers because that'd be perpendicular, but they drive down and wedge themselves into an alley.
Yeah, an increasingly narrow alley that
yeah.
eventually gets them stuck.
Right.
And they're like, oh, what do we do now? And then suddenly, off camera, a hand shatters the back window of this RV, and they just pull the guy who's been shot out.
Right. And just ignore it before them.
Yeah.
You
They're just like, this doesn't concern you. Just stay there. And then they just drag this guy out to the middle of the street.
and then they do a bunch of like shadowy figure stuff for some reason,
Yeah.
even though it's like it's 1993 and Dennis Leary walks out and clearly is Dennis Leary.
Yeah, he's in shadow for a long time.
And it's
And it's like, I know who that
Yeah.
is.
So,
I would have known who that was in '93.
yeah, especially with that voice.
Yeah.
You know?
His name is in the credits.
Well, that too. Yeah, it's not really a surprise, but
Yeah.
it's just why'd you steal from me all this stuff, you know?
And they just shout back and forth. We grew up together, and he's like, "Yeah, well, blam."
Yeah, shoot him in the head. And then they're all like, oh, damn, shit, oh, fuck.
Yep.
They're coming to kill us next. And then they're like, no witnesses, go get them.
So they come at them, and everyone's like, Cuba Gooding Jr. freaks out immediately, grabs a fire extinguisher, and throws it through the front windshield.
Throws it
Yeah.
into the front window.
Enough to break it to where they all kick it and start going out that way. Emilio Estevez is like, I'm setting this motherfucker on fire.
Well, yeah, because also, I just want to point out, like, they had beer bottles and liquor bottles everywhere, and Jeremy Piven's first instinct was, like, first take, like, several giant swigs of vodka,
Yes.
and then, like, try to call the cops, you know, and then throw all the shit out, like, and it's like,
That was before they even
yeah,
crashed.
before
though.
they crashed. Yeah, I was just saying, like, he was, like, disposing of all this, but yet, let me take a big old sip to explain that I'm shit-faced and,
Yeah.
you know, smell like alcohol. Yeah. But anyway.
But yeah, Estevez uses the remainder of the alcohol
Right.
to pour it around the vehicle, and then he sets it on fire. They get out and start running, and then this thing explodes, and Emilio Estevez is
3 times.
Yeah.
Fucking
Oh,
goes.
also, Jeremy Piven managed to grab the gun just before
Yes.
he got out, but didn't show anyone. He just does tuck it in his waistband and jumps out, too.
Yeah, and Estevez is like, dude, that's not what I expected to happen. Sorry about your RV, bro. And yeah, now it's run, and they run
From
to
the next like hour, they just run.
yeah.
and run
It's
and
a chase after that. It's just set piece to set piece basically. Like first they go to train yard.
Yeah, they hide in a train car for a while, and then they have to deal with train
There's
hobos.
a goddamn hobo
Trobos.
force in there.
Well, it's like a hobo shakedown. It's just
Well, they're like hobo gremlins because like there's one, and then suddenly there's two, and then suddenly in the next shot there's like 12.
well, someone produced cash, and that's what
true.
makes
The
them
hobos-
multiply.
yeah.
Yeah. Then all the hobos are like,
Spare some change.
You don't give handouts after midnight or something?
Yeah.
yeah.
So Dennis Leary is a magnet for wherever they are. Like in all of Chicago, wherever they go hide, they're on it.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck. I always feel like I have these moments where I'm like, I don't want to derail what's happening,
I get
but
it.
I feel like it's like, no, I mean, like, there's a thing to be said about this movie. I feel like this movie would have worked much better 5 to 10 years before it is set, because A, they had a cell phone.
Yep.
You know, I mean, we didn't have GPSs and things like that yet.
Right.
But A, they have a cell phone. B, they're in Chicago, and the bad guys lose sight of them multiple times. It's like, fuck, dude, it should not be that hard to hide in a city. Like,
But it is.
but it
For
is.
them.
Like, I'm
like
just,
wherever they go, they are instantly
I mean, the train
spotted.
yard thing was like, how? Like, because they weren't anywhere near them. They had to like drive around the block to get around the burning RV and all this stuff, and then they're just like,
Well,
they went to
explained
the
it.
train yard.
They explained it easily with Dennis Leary saying, I knew they'd go to the train yard.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like they always go to the train yard. These city folk
Yeah,
or
But
but
something.
Dennis
is-
Leary into Dennis Miller.
But,
I
the-
apologize.
but they get shaken down by the hobos and basically give them all their money and their wallets and everything.
yeah.
when they had a gun,
Right.
Yeah.
at least one of them had a gun,
Well, because also,
with
I mean,
which you could say, be quiet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. This movie's weird in a lot of ways because it's sort of like, hey, we want you to identify with these upper class assholes, and let's make all of the poor people like even bigger assholes.
Yeah.
Because like the hobos are just like, what if we start making noise? And they let
Well,
them know we're over here. And
well,
they're
what
like, they're
happens
going to
is-
shoot you too. And they're like,
Yeah.
I don't think so. They might even give us a reward.
There's one like proto radio guy in there who is just like, I went to college, give me your jacket. And Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, no. And he's like, give me the jacket. And he's the one who sets it off, basically.
Right.
He's shouting, give me the jacket, and everyone starts freaking out. And it becomes a hobo brawl.
Right, but like I said, not before they've given them all their wallets and everything. So yes,
Yeah.
it becomes a hobo brawl, and they escape out of the train car,
Right.
leaving their wallets and everything behind. So then it's like, I know everything about you.
Yeah. And Dennis Leary shoots the guy who stole Cuba Gooding Jr.'s jacket because he thought it was Cuba Gooding Jr. But it wasn't. It was the hobo.
Right.
So they run to a housing project. And
I mean, they tried to find some other random people on the street who are all like, no, no one talk to you, no phone.
yeah, and they try like a
A
phone booth, and of course, it's destroyed because even in 1993, people were like, "Man, fuck phone booths, am I right?" Public phone, I'm beating the fuck out of this thing. But eventually, they try to figure out a way into this project, and there's this one kid who's just like standing on a swing, just swinging,
He's the lookout.
Yeah.
He's the lookout for the neighborhood hoodlums.
Right. But they eventually get in, and they go up like 3 or 4 floors until they finally find someone who's just standing in the hallway throwing her trash away, and they're like, "Hey, we need to use your phone." And it takes like 2 minutes of convincing. It's like, okay, look, we obviously don't belong here. We saw a kid get shot. Blah 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 blah.
We just
blah,
want to
blah,
call
blah.
the cops.
Yeah, and so that's enough to get her in. Now, Dennis Leary and crew arrive. They are confronted by the gang that kid was a lookout for, and there's some negotiation. This means fuck all, really. It's just a moment for Dennis Leary to really explain that he's also in this gang society and he knows how shit works. And like, hey, little man, let me give you some life lessons on being a gang
you got to
leader.
look tough, and I
Yeah.
understand that. Blah blah.
It's okay. It is never clear what Dennis Leary does, except that all we know is that he had money. That guy stole it. They shot him. And that's it, really.
He was selling something. One could assume drugs, I guess.
But there's never more than 4 people in his crew. They don't call anybody. They don't make it. And it seems Dennis Leary's obsession with catching these guys kind of just jumps a shark at one point, because it's just like, you should really back off now. This doesn't have any payoff for you. Like, you're obviously going to die at the end of this, and why you've decided that tonight's the night your entire criminal enterprise is done seems dumb. Because he had several outs where he could just be like, you know what, forget it.
Yeah.
But anyway, they eventually find them on whatever floor they're on.
Well, they're just like, they're literally kicking in and shooting doors and stuff like that. They're just like, we don't fucking care. That's the thing, is like, it's another part of the weirdness of this movie is that they're concerned about the 4 people who witnessed a murder, and then they are going around just making the loudest amount of noise and getting a whole bunch of other witnesses that they don't care about.
And murdering a whole bunch of other
Sure.
people, too.
It's very strange. It's like, I get the murder the witness plot device in a movie, but you're going through a housing project just shooting up random doors and threatening people, and it's like, now they've all witnessed you and committing crimes. I know it's not murder.
Well, nobody snitches in the hood. At least in this hood, probably.
Yeah, and the whole point is the cops never come down here no matter what happens.
Right. Which is like, I don't know.
So
I suppose
eventually I think they do.
I suppose that's
Not
conceivable,
down there.
but like, it's weird because like this movie keeps running the gamut between like, this is a desolate, like, deserted place, to like, no, there's a lot of people that live here, and here's a whole giant store that's well furnished. It's like, okay, I don't get it. If there's this many people here, there will be some police presence. Maybe slow or whatever. Right. But it's like not like, oh, fuck it. It's if there's still random people, like normal citizens attempting to live somewhere.
Well, for one, I think that this is probably a place where people don't call the cops.
Okay.
To be fair. Two, when they say they've called the cops, I don't know if they've called the cops, because there's something wrong with their phone line.
That was after.
Was that after?
Yeah.
Did their phone line get cut?
Yeah, they cut the phones for the whole building.
Okay, I missed that then.
Yeah.
All right. I was confused, and now I am not.
Yeah, because they're both incredulous about it. They're like, what do you mean the phone's not working? But anyway, they're just like, go up to the roof. The kids have a way to get over to the next building. Get the fuck out of my apartment.
Yeah.
So they do. They go up to the roof.
It's the classic, like, rickety ladder between 2 buildings thing with, like, some
There's like a piece of
boards.
plywood tied to 2 ladders to get across.
So of course they all do. They're like, oh, I don't know, man. I'm scared of heights.
Okay, so there are a lot of interesting moments of direction in this movie. I think this is like the first time it's really kind of interesting, because they do give you the perspective of, okay, they're really high up, and then they've got this crane shot as each person goes across, and they're going across a gap like that is dangerous, and it's the actors doing it. It's well shot for that. It is a well shot sense of like, oh no, the actors are in peril. But the problem with this is that Jeremy Piven has gotten to the point where he is just completely shut down. He's like, I cannot. He convinces Emilio Estevez to let him be the last one to go across, and then after the 3 of them finally get across, because Emilio Estevez almost falls to his death because the ladder starts to fall apart, Jeremy Piven just throws the ladder off.
Yeah, and he's basically, I'm going to reason with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna negotiate. So at some point, Cuba Gooding Jr. got the gun.
Yeah, they discovered he had it in there. Like, you didn't tell us.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm telling you now. Because he brandished the gun at the people who let them use their phone.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, what the hell? These
Yeah,
are
they're
the
like,
only people trying to help us.
He was like, why didn't you use that before? Like, why are you using it against us now?
Yeah.
And Jeremy Piven, like, I think they cut all the scenes of him doing cocaine because he is entirely too wired for the situation given the amount of alcohol he was
Pretty
drinking.
sure that's just actual Jeremy Piven.
I agree, but still, they probably should have had the character just in the background, just fucking a Ziploc bag full of coke that he's just shoving his face into, because that's how the character is acting. But anyway, so the bad guys show up, and Jeremy Piven just kind of like slicks his hair back and goes into salesman mode.
He's kind of doing the Die Hard guy. What's his face like?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like,
yeah,
you know.
Ellis?
yes.
Yeah, Ellis. Yeah, thank you.
yeah.
Hans. Bobby.
Yeah. And this is just like, all right, guys, what do you say? $100,000 cash. You want
I
that?
get it in cash value in the morning.
Yeah.
We'll
And
just
they're
forget
like-
about this whole thing.
And they're like, yeah, that sounds all right.
And what about this ring? This ring's worth $15K. We'll just call it a down payment.
Yeah. And then like this
And
works, but
that
then
is
for
probably a lot.
It's funny because they're
no.
just like they're fucking with him basically because
Yeah.
they're just like, ooh, that is a really nice ring. That's and they're passing. Ooh, take a look at this.
yeah. But then like Dennis Leary snaps and just gets up in his face and is just yelling at him, and then like Jeremy Piven looks like he's about to cry, and then he just says 200,000, and they'll go, yeah, all right. Like this was the negotiating ploy that they were doing, and it's like they're all slapping each other, high fives and everything. Everything is fine, and then Dennis Leary's like. Jeremy Piven says, man, I didn't think I was going to get off this roof in one piece. And Dennis Leary's like, oh, you're going to get off this roof in one piece, and just chucks him over the side of the building.
He clotheslines him
Yeah.
off the side of the building. It's-
Yeah. And he falls to his death.
He wasn't getting out of that alive
no.
at any point.
No.
And there's also zero possibility that he could ever come across $100,000 by morning.
Well, he could steal it from his dad.
No, his dad doesn't have money.
Okay. But anyway, yeah.
Everything he said is a lie. for the most
Sure,
part.
absolutely.
Actually, I think it'd probably be more like his dad does have money and be like he'd do the whole like we're not giving them the money, we're calling the cops and like get his son killed anyway, and probably him too.
Right, yeah. The
If
Fargo
it's
thing.
had somehow to work,
Yeah.
somehow had worked.
Yeah. But so Cuba Gooding Jr. freaks out at this point and just starts shooting at them. Hits one guy in the shoulder, which never affects that guy ever again. And then it's just, okay, get him.
Is this when they run out of bullets, or does he actually shoot anymore?
He has a few more at some point, but between this location and the sewer, the gun is gone.
Yeah.
Like he runs out at some point and apparently just tosses the gun aside because that's it. But everyone is okay. So Emilio Estevez is kind of like still just being chill. Cuba Gooding Jr. has freaked the fuck out and is trying to get Steven Dorff to freak the fuck out with him. He's just like, who's coming with me? I mean, he's in that like, come on, get yourself up. Come on, little man, let's do this. And so
He'd also been egging on his like let's fight everybody tendencies earlier in the movie, and
Yeah.
was like, stop that.
yeah. So they come down out of that building and go to a sewer grate, get into that, climb down thinking they're safe. Immediately, Dennis Leary is standing right there like, hey, Francis, I see you.
He walks past, and I don't know what he hears or sees that makes him turn around and go back to that sewer grate.
He just has this weird witness sense. It's constantly, he's always
Is he
like,
an orphan?
Yes, he might
Must be. He's
yeah.
an orphan. That's why he's so mad. He's an orphan,
Yeah.
and so he's got orphan vision.
Man, he could
Makes
have just
sense.
been Batman.
Yeah,
If he had just
That'd have been
used his
cool.
powers for good.
I could see Dennis Leary as Batman back in the 90s.
Smoking.
Yeah. You want a dark and gritty Batman? Give it to fucking Dennis Leary.
And Bruce Wayne, come on,
ranting all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
That
I want to hear his Batman voice.
Kind of would be okay. I thought it was funny, like when they were climbing down into the sewer. I said, like, if this was Demolition Man, they would now be meeting Dennis Leary down there because that's just every early '90s movie. Just at some point, you would run into a gang run by Dennis Leary.
Right in the sewers.
Yes. So anyway,
Rat
he's
burgers.
right there on top of them, firing shots into the grates, and they're like, "Okay, we got to go down this sewer water slide they've built in here."
For funsies.
Yeah. So they slide around in all the grossness and eventually get to some room with like a scaffolding in it and a bunch of pipes.
Yeah, there's like
and
a
shit.
junction room of some kind.
Yeah.
And they're like, the line must be drawn here.
Yeah,
And
because like
this is-
Estevez is just like, I'm going up, and Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, it's too bright up there. They'll see you.
Yeah.
I want to take a stand. I always wanted to know if I could be a soldier. And he just picks up a pipe. And is like, let's do this. And Estevez is like, they have guns, idiot. And he's like, there's 3 entrances, and we'll all get
Plus, we got 2 pipes and a stick.
Yeah, because yes, when they finally convince Estevez to join their now bloodlust murder party, Estevez just reaches down and picks up a wet stick.
Yeah, but it's all like smooth, like it's like a hobbit cane. It's just like,
Yeah.
dude, why is that in the sewer?
It's weird. Like, it takes him 4 seconds to just resign himself to, I guess I'm going to die in the sewer with you assholes. I'll use this stick for a weapon. And then it's 10 minutes of everyone standing near an entrance into their room.
Well, also, all right, on the fuck these guys thing, they're like, there are 3 entrances to this room. We'll just each cover one.
Yeah.
But apparently there was another
There's like
entrance.
60.
There's 4.
Apparently there's another one because Zed dude kind of
Yeah.
just sneaks up completely, like nobody's covering an entrance, and
Yep.
he just like walks right up and is right at Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yep. He's going to shoot him.
And Stephen Dorff sees this and does the like, oh fuck man,
Yeah.
I can't move thing, and
Estevez pops up out of fucking
yeah,
nowhere.
he just like dive tackles him from out of nowhere and
Yeah.
knocks the gun away. And
Cuba Gooding Jr. gets that gun, and Zed is like, "You don't come on, look at you. You don't have the guts to use that. Just give me that back, and we'll call it even." And Cuba Gooding Jr. just basically shoots him in the heart.
well, because he says something like, "Do you want to end up like your friend, whatever the fuck, Jerry? Is that what the Jeremy Piven guy was? Whatever the hell his name was,
Ray.
Ray." Yeah,
'Cause
you want to
kept
end up
calling
like
him
Ray.
Razor.
Yeah, because they were like, "Yeah, you're gonna end up like him," and he was like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
push my buttons." And
Yep.
he murders him.
murders him, and then from this point on, Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, "I want to murder everything," because Emilio Estevez and his brother have decided to start climbing up, and he's like, "Where are you going? Come on, let's do this. I have a gun now. Let's just murder them. There's only 2 left. Let's do this." And they're just like,
Well, there's 3. There's 3 left.
"Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah." All right, because like Dennis Leary and
Yeah, they find Zed's dead body, and then the one asshole dude who's just like
the guy who's been shot.
yeah, the guy's just like, man, I didn't sign up for this and this, and Dennis Leary basically just drowns him while giving a speech about annoying people in prison. He had an annoying cellmate,
Yeah.
not him annoying people in prison.
Right.
Like, hey, you're in prison.
Although I'm sure he did, but he also murdered
I'm smoking
them.
outside your bar. You're in prison, eh?
I'm an asshole. Yeah,
Use
so
public toilets and then you piss on the seat.
he murders that guy, and then it's just him and the Edge is the other gang member who's there.
Right.
And
That's the Edge from U2,
yes,
correct? Yeah.
yes. And that guy's just like, okay, maybe we should go. Dennis Leary's like, yeah, all right. So they climb out, and our heroes have taken up perch on like a second story across the street, and they see a city bus, and they're like, sweet, we're rescued, city bus. And they just run over to the city bus, and the bus driver's like, well, fuck no.
Well, they get downstairs just like as it's finished, its normal stop, and they're just running alongside it like, hey!
Yeah. And she's like,
And I can tell you, 0 bus drivers in the entire world will stop for that bullshit.
why this bus was even in this area, I don't understand. Because it's
she
like
had
2
to.
a.m.
She had to.
I guess. I don't know. Just seems like that bus should have been covered with graffiti and also not have tires anymore. Like the second it stops, it immediately gets checked. They steal all the tires. So, Cuba Gooding Jr. fires a shot at the bus, and then the other 2 are like, whoa! Let's just calm down, and we're going to go. And then Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, I got no place else to go. Can I come with you? And they're like, yeah. So they go. And then they just walk up to like this grocery store.
Yeah, they
this-
find like a weird bodega supermarket. It says like a meat mart or
it's
a
like
swap meet.
5-floor.
It says swap meet, which is like that's not what a swap meet is.
Well,
A swap meet is like where other like people get together and trade things. but
there's
this-
probably swap meat in. There's
In
probably
there?
swap meat in there, and it probably also contains a swap
yeah, there's
meat.
probably some swapping of meat happening in
Yeah.
there for sure.
But like there's the produce floor.
Produce and
Like the
electronics.
administ-
It's like a fucking department
Yeah,
store.
it's like a Montgomery
so
Ward's. It's
weird.
like the end of Gremlins. It's it's just whatever you need this area to be. That's what it's
Yes.
going to
And
be.
that's my point of like if this place is as abandoned as like the cops are like, well, fuck that place. Why would there be a store?
Yeah.
A store with security guards because
Yeah.
that's their plan. They're like 24-hour security. Well, let's put that to the test. Garbage can through the plate glass window, and hey, we're here.
God.
We're touching everything.
Again, they're just being fucking assholes. They're being that guy from House of Wax. They are just like, we're in here. We're touching all your shit. What are you going to do about it?
I mean, to be fair, this is not the worst plan in the entire world.
Nope.
If it says 24-hour security,
Yeah.
they need to get security's attention by breaking shit and, by making noise.
Just the alarm should speak for itself.
Right.
Like, they don't
Yeah.
have to also just be smug assholes. Like, we won. Because, like, 2 security guards immediately show up and draw guns on them.
And they're like, oh, it's 2 of them.
Yeah, and they're just like, oh, sweet. Yeah, frisk me, bro.
To the point that one of them, like, finally is like, I got these guys covered. Go call the cops quick because these guys are hopped up on something.
Yeah. Yeah, they are high as fuck. So they're all just like jokey joke while the guy's just got a security guard murder boner for them. And eventually
He's frisking him and
Yeah.
eventually finds the gun on Cuba Gooding. Which, like, right before he does, Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, oh, shit, I have the gun.
It's like, oh, and then like the guy's like, don't you fucking move. And he's like, yeah, okay, look, okay, no more jokey joke time. So the other guard goes up to whatever floor it's all floors have this one office on it.
This, like, a lot of the geography in this movie was working until until the ending. And then it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, because, okay, so he goes into the office and he picks up the phone and dials 911. It rings like once, and then immediately stealth Dennis Leary is there and stabs him to death. So he's like, all right, let's fucking do this. And then, like,
What does he do? He shoots the other rent-a-cop?
I believe so, yeah. And
Well, he does the knife kill on the guy on
the guy in the
phone.
office.
But this is what doesn't make sense because this office is on some floor above the first level, as indicated later by the fact that they take an elevator up and they're in this room.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would they enter this place not on the first floor?
Who knows,
But
man?
anyway, they've murdered the one security guard, and the other one, like, Cuba Gooding Jr. sees the Edge henchman dude.
Yeah, he sees him
just,
behind him.
and just kind of like ducks out of the way as he gets shot in the back.
Yeah. Yep. So they all kind of...
Well, they knew he was coming because Dennis Leary also got on the he did the attention Kmart shoppers, thing on the intercom. And the,
fresh meat now in the swap meat section.
right.
And there's a bunch of confusing geography that happens.
Yep.
Yeah. They run around the first floor for a while.
The 2 brothers get separated like for half a second from Cuba Gooding Jr., and then somehow Cuba Gooding Jr. cannot move from one stealth spot to another because the
'cause
guy
he- yeah,
is
the
there
guy-
shooting at him.
With his enormous, like, he's got a Desert Eagle.
Yeah.
And I try not to be the guy that complains about, like, how many shots people are firing without loading. But this guy shoots this fucking gun, like, 1,000,000 times. This movie is particularly bad about it. Like, the revolvers have as many shots as they need
But
until they
people-
don't.
Except for when it doesn't, because I called it exactly
Right,
how
and-
many were left in
Yeah.
the
Right.
revolver that Cuba Gooding
Yeah.
Jr. ends up with.
But there's a lot of gun reloading in this last bit of business, and it seems like
there's a
maybe
little
there
bit.
shouldn't be. Like, people are just opening up guns and throwing out the shells and putting more in. And
Well, Dennis Leary reloads.
Yeah.
He's the only one who reloads in the entire
Okay.
movie. Cuba opens his revolver to check how many rounds he's got and closes it back up.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing, as you said, he's stuck behind one stealth bot, and he's like, you go. I'm gonna distract them."
Yeah.
And goes
towards him.
Goes chasing towards him with what I was like. At this point, I was like, he has 1, maybe 2 shots in that gun, just based on like how many times he shot.
Yep.
And that's exactly, he had 2 left, and
Because they confront each other.
like through one of those like security gate, like slidey gate things.
Yeah. And they both shoot each other once, and then Kuba's like, well, I got one more shot, so he shoots that guy again.
And then does the continual click
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And he's just got this look on his face like, oh, God. This guy just fires a couple shots into the floor and eventually goes down. This prompts Dennis Leary to, I guess, come back downstairs while the 2 brothers are still scurrying somewhere trying to get to Cuba Gooding Jr. So Dennis Leary comes downstairs, and there's a stock guy pushing out like a cart of drinks or something.
Yeah, it's a whole pallet of
Yeah.
Cokes or
and
whatever.
he's got headphones on, and he's just singing to himself and enjoying his headphones. And Dennis Leary is just shooting at what he's pushing, and he doesn't hear like the first 4 shots of it.
I guarantee you are going, if you're in a place,
Yeah.
I was about to qualify it, but if you're in literally any place
Uh-huh.
and you have just shitty 1990s Walkman headphones on,
Yeah.
you are going to hear any gunshot anywhere near
You're
you.
going to hear just about everything because
Yeah.
they had no
Yeah.
sound dampening field or anything.
Yeah. So,
Entering
but
the
what he
sound
does
dampening
notice is the liquid shooting out of the beverages that he was pushing, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh shit!" and then just
Says,
turns around.
Somebody hates these cans.
yeah, he turns
This
around.
guy hates these cans.
And he runs off, and Dennis Leary is just like, fuck that guy." So yeah, I don't know why he's not now hardcore murder him for some reason, but he doesn't. So Stephen Dorff gets over to Cuba Gooding Jr. at one point, and they're trying to get away, and he gets shot in the leg.
Yeah, well, he's like, because Emilio Estevez does like that. Hey, I'm over here to like
Yeah.
try to distract him, because he's like, why? Oh, because first he was like, Dennis Leary had the drop on Cuba Gooding Jr. He's like, come on, Francis, why don't you come get your friend?
Yeah.
And he does the like run over to the other side. It's like, I'm actually over here.
Yeah.
And Stephen Dorff goes to rescue him, but how does he get shot?
Does
Does
Leary
the dude
shoots him.
does the dude come back to life and shoot him? No, the other guy.
Dennis Leary just gets a
Okay.
shot off.
All right, so yeah, he gets him in the leg, and
Oh, yeah, he's dragging Cuba Gooding Jr. away,
Yeah.
and Dennis Leary shoots him in the back of the head, or the leg.
Whoa.
Would have been nice. Would
Yeah.
have clipped this movie out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets shot in the back of the leg
Mm-hmm.
while he's trying to hustle Cuba away.
and they somehow get away again, and
They
sneak
just
into
make a mad dash for the elevator.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they slide into the elevator, sort of, and
Because
That's
Dennis
when they-
Leary's running at them, unloading
Right.
another
and
clip.
that's when they get up. I almost did it, but I don't care. They go up to another level, and that's yes, I believe it's a typeface, and
That's the name of the man.
yeah. Typeface-
Actually, it's a
Typeface's
periodical-
monster. Yeah. But they go up to some other level, whichever level where the office is, because first they go.
They hit the 5th floor button.
Yeah.
Like,
They hit somewhere up high, and they go hide in a bathroom, and they don't put them in like one of the stalls. There's like a broom closet inside the bathroom.
Right.
They're like, just hide out here.
It'll be the last place he looks. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
And
Except
it
it's
is.
the first place he looks.
No,
Yeah.
no. He
Oh, he
throws
would- no.
open every door in there.
I mean, he goes right for the bathroom,
Yes.
but he doesn't make it to the broom closet because Emilio Estevez is run into the office where the dead security guard is, tries to use phone, sees it's cut,
Mm-hmm.
then hits the silent alarm, and Dennis Leary is like in the bathroom checking all the stalls, and they're trying to lock the deadbolt. That's the deadbolt that's on the inside of the broom closet for some reason.
right, yes.
Now that I think about that, it's really fucking
That's
weird.
really dumb. Why would there be a deadbolt inside the broom closet?
well,
Yes.
you buy the cheap lock.
Right.
You only need to ever lock the broom closet from the outside, and you never want to be locked in accidentally.
Okay.
Sure.
That's my reason.
Okay.
I'm going to make an excuse for this movie right here.
I'll go with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'll allow it. But yeah, he is just about
allow
to
it.
he is just about to get to the closet, and then Emilio Estevez once again does the "Hey, I'm out here,"
Hey, you,
and he's just
you
got
scumbag.
Dennis Leary wants to murder all of them, but especially Emilio Estevez for some reason
Oh, yeah.
because like.
He had his wallet.
Well, like he's been doing like the you're married, huh? You live over in the North Shore, and you're an Italian wife, and I've always wanted an Italian woman.
What if I? What's your baby's name? which is
What
the
if I
thing.
don't know something, your baby? I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever, just menacing.
So this floor is whatever goods and services you need this floor to be, because like it starts out like sporting goods, but it's all like they're in a just
There's
big lots
electronics.
section of Hall of Mirrors is what it is basically. 'cause there's
Breakable
just
goods.
glassware everywhere, so they can distort the images and everything.
Some
And
crystal shit.
yeah. And eventually this just becomes struggle between the two of them. They fight for a while. Emilio Estevez seems like he's out for the
Well,
count.
'cause he finally does the like, why don't I? Because he's doing the menacing, like, why don't I fuck with your baby in some way? And then it's just like rage, daddy strength. You know?
well, that's he's down and out, and then he's just like, hey, I'm gonna go. You got that baby, right? And Emilio Estevez just pops up and is just rapid fire punching him, and just like he has all the strength in the world to murder Dennis Leary. Gets him over to this railing, which gives way. And Dennis Leary almost goes, but he's teetering on the edge, and he immediately says, "Help me, save me."
No.
And Emilio Estevez is like, "You got it, bro," and reaches for him, and he starts doing the Christopher Lloyd Star Trek 3 thing of just like, "Haha, you fell for it. You're coming with me." And how does he get away from him? He just slips away from
beats
him.
him away.
Yeah,
Sort of,
okay.
yeah. I think he like just hits his hand away, like, not today, pal.
Yeah.
Which he says, pal, for some reason. It's like, that's not menacing.
Yeah.
Like, it worked once.
Yeah. And Dennis Leary just kind of falls like a story or two down.
He falls down.
I mean, it's a fall that would kill a normal
it's like
human.
2 stories.
But he also
Yeah.
lands directly on a staircase, which
Yes.
would make it even worse.
Yes, but in movie terms, it's not nowhere near bad enough for what Dennis Leary needed.
No.
Or to put a final period on this bad guy.
Right.
Well, it's just all right. It's realistically enough to murder someone.
Yes.
But it's just enough to keep you guessing, is he going to come back, which makes what's about to happen work okay.
Yeah, because well, so like after he's fallen, Emilio Estevez just looks over and just says, "Don't call me Francis," which is just the worst cool line.
Don't call me Francis.
It's like, please.
All right,
That's
pal.
Yeah, because we came up with like 4 of them based on all the merchandise they were wrecking along the way that were much better. So he does what anyone should do, either in a movie or in real life. He goes down to make sure Dennis Leary's dead.
And I like that there's multiple shots where it's like, is his hand still there? Like,
Yeah.
is he not? Has he moved?
Yeah, they keep showing you exactly just like a little piece of him. Like, he's still there in this shot. Okay, he's still there in this shot. And then it gets there and he has to step over him to get to the rest of the staircase to go back down. Eventually, Cuba Gooding Jr. is just shouting at the top of his lungs like, "Hey,
Frank, you okay?
you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's okay." And
Yeah.
then that's it. Cops burst in.
Well,
Basically,
no, they don't yet, because he goes back to the office and like he finds like the administrative
oh, right.
office, because
Yeah,
like there was
it's a-
the security office and then there's an administrative office.
Yeah.
And he goes, and there's a working phone. And he hits 911.
Yes.
Like gets one ring again, and it's like gun to the head. And
Right.
that's why I'm saying it kind of works, because you're like, fuck, of course he wasn't dead, but
Yeah.
it's like, nope, it's a cop.
Yeah.
And
it's funny because the cop is just like, "I'm going to fucking murder you for all this chaos that you've caused." And then his partner runs in and he goes, "Story checks out, Chief."
well, he's
just
like, my friends are bleeding to death in the bathroom, and
yeah. But just Junior Detective runs in and just goes, "It checks out."
Also-
and he's like, "You're free to go."
also,
Emilio."
I like okay, if he was a criminal and his criminal friends were bleeding to death in the basement, why would that mean like, you're off the hook?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll just call it a wash.
It's like, you did still murder a few people tonight. Also, your friend is dead, and there's the RV that exploded. You might have to answer some questions downtown. Oh, no, sorry, your wife is here. So why don't you go see her?
everything's
and-
fine.
I like that, like, the wife got there with no issue.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just mean like,
Immediately,
well, yeah, it's like
it took her no time to get there.
Right.
I mean, I hope maybe the cops.
Well,
really just don't bring.
she probably took that bus that stops there.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. She seems like the
But
bus
how
going
did
type.
how did she get there in like 0 seconds?
I don't know. Maybe
Because
that's why
even
they
if-
don't show her.
She had a map.
Right.
See, now, again, you think, like, okay, Dennis Leary's going to be outside with a wig and a dress on from a part of the store, and then he's just like, "Ha ha, Francis, blam." But no, they don't even show any of this. He just walks behind a door, and then it cuts to black.
Yep. We don't even get a crane shot.
No.
Pulling
Not-
away.
No paramedics outside. No. There's one paramedic tending to Emilio Estevez at first who is just, I don't know what
Dabbing
he's...
him with a cloth.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's not touching any of his wounds. He's just...
He is carefully avoiding wiping the makeup off.
Right.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Oh, so...
He was probably wiping the sheen off of him.
Oh, I get it.
That's a joke. I know what those are.
So they're wheeling out Cuba Gooding Jr., and he's like, "Am I going to be able to make it to the Bears game?"
I got 50-yard line tickets to the Bears.
And the paramedics are just like, "I don't know, dude. You're probably going to die." So Estevez just kind of walks past him and goes over to his brother and is just like, "Hey, you got tickets for the Bears game now this weekend." And Steve Dorff says, "I'm too young for this shit."
Yeah.
As they're wheeling him out, that's his last line. He goes out of the shot. It's like,
It's a pretty good
Best,
line.
best
All right.
line in the movie.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah. But yeah, it's just kind
It's
of
kind
a
of over here.
kind of a wet fart of an ending. Otherwise, doesn't really satisfy the way you want it to.
Whole
Also-
movie's a bit of a wet fart.
It
Well, this is where we get to discuss that as we give our ratings.
Yeah.
it's got pacing issues. It needs about
Yeah.
15 minutes cut out of it.
Yeah.
There are certain things they linger on for far too long. It's just this is such a different era. This is a lot like Trespass, and it's like your story concept is solid, but you don't have enough sequences to make it all work.
Dennis Leary's motivation needs a lot of work. I mean, just
Yeah.
past, an hour's worth of chasing, fucking done with it. Let the guy go. It's very unlikely that he'll be able to prove this. The body will go away. Like, some creepy guy on the south side of Chicago killed a kid. Okay, that happens every day on the south side of Chicago. I mean,
Yeah.
like, every 30 seconds, it seems like. So, just his dogged pursuit of Emilio Estevez
Well,
is.
I mean, also, like, I'm not saying I want it to be different, but just this story of going to the inner city of Chicago and being menaced by an all-white gang just seems, like, dumb. It just, like, are you guys also not from this part of town? Because it seems like you don't know the area except that you do.
There are, like, it appears that there are territories within this
Sure,
part
absolutely.
of Chicago. So,
But like
you know,
the other gang didn't know him at all, and he seems like king shit. But for some reason, that group didn't know him at all. Like I fully expected that to be like a hype session for Dennis Leary. Like, oh shit, you're whatever the fuck his name is, Fallon or whatever.
Fallon, yeah.
And it's just like, oh, sorry, you know, whatever you need. But they don't even do that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't even know what they're doing there.
yeah.
That's the thing. Like their whole gang, I don't understand it.
Or this kid ran into. I'm inventing things that weren't in this movie, but like you could wrap it up pretty easily. Going, oh, we followed this kid into like this kid stole from our gang. He's part of this group, and
Yeah.
so we came to this side of town. But they don't even they don't bother, and
No.
we don't really need it.
I will say
But it would
I'm
be-
kind of glad that it's not one of those movies where it's like the two rival gangs wipe each other out and that's what lets the people get away or something.
Oh, right.
Like one of those kind of endings because those are bullshit too. Where it's just
Yeah,
like, you know,
for sure.
Deus Ex Machina of the other gang. It's like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, our beef is bigger than this. And, you know, oh, we were able to get
Yeah.
away because this.
I wouldn't want to make it
Yeah.
that, but I would at least like, you know, a little bit more motivation on
Sure.
all of the Dennis Leary fronts.
Yeah, I mean, just something that actually hype him up besides, like, I don't know, I talk a lot and I'm kind of articulate and I drove a okay car until you crashed.
Just a Cadillac.
I know,
right?
I'm just saying, like, it's like, there's nothing hot shit about him. You know, it's not like, you
Well-
know, I'm the cocaine king of Chicago or something, you know? Like,
Dennis Leary is too smart for that character. It just doesn't seem like he's some low-level thug in the inner city of Chicago. Is
Right.
my point? He just seems like he's a lot smarter than that.
and they-
He shouldn't
at
be doing
least
the work.
They could have explained it away with, like, I don't like to come down to the street level.
Yeah.
You know, something like, I only am down here because this asshole stole from me.
Right.
Something, like, you know, just to, like...
Yeah, I mean, he seems like the kind of guy who would just have gone back home and had his henchmen call him.
Right.
Like, he just doesn't seem like the hands-on... Except that he just gets to monologue all the
Sure,
time.
sure.
So, I don't know. Maybe he just...
It's just an excuse for Dennis Leary to, you know, Dennis Leary it up.
Right. Which, in 93, is what you wanted Dennis
Yeah.
Leary to do, so...
All right, well, does anyone have a rating? We talked around it.
I can rate it. You know, I went into this. I'd seen this movie several times. It is not as good as I remember it being. Like I said, it's got pacing issues. It needs some stuff. There's not like any one thing I would point to and say cut that, but it's just like there's just lengthy parts to it that are just like, okay, you've established that they're all drunk on the RV and traffic's bad. Just like cut that confrontation with that dude. Who cares? That doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Just the pacing of this movie is just weird. Like you're into a scene for like 75% of it, and then it's just like, all right, enough of this. Like let's move on. Let's move on to something else.
Yeah.
And then you've got another 25% of a scene to get through.
Well, they could cut like 75% of that freeway scene.
Yeah, it's like there's traffic. Just get off. He's like, I'm gonna get you guys there and then go. And you know, I do want to give a special notice to the soundtrack, which is there are articles about this. I think there's a Rolling Stone retrospective about this soundtrack. It's a very, especially for the time, very strange, very interesting hip hop / metal kind of just pairing for all these songs. It's really something and deserves a better movie. Although I do the songs that they do feature, I really like the opening credit song. That song gets stuck in my head all the time. So anyway, it's a mild recommendation, partially because I still think it's a decent little thriller and partially nostalgia. So I'm going to give it 2 jocks for that, 1 jocks for each of those things I mentioned. It's, like I said, it's not as great as I remember, and its time has kind of passed. It's other thrillers have come along and done things better. But I liked it then, and I still kind of like it. But it's not great.
Yeah. I think everything that I have issue with in this movie is screenplay related, maybe editing, perhaps. but like technically, there's a lot of good things going on in this. There are really good shots that are composed in this. Stephen Hopkins loves that, like split focus, long depth of field shot, and he uses that multiple times throughout this movie.
Yeah.
And almost like, I don't want to give him too much credit, but like almost Sergio Leone close-ups of certain people. Like there's one shot where it's just like, here's Dennis Leary's weird mouth.
Yeah.
Like full frame half the image, and then like, you know, the Zed dude like behind him like talking, and it's a cool shot. I mean, it's kind of weird because it's just Dennis Leary and his weird mouth, but it's like I get that like he was shooting for things bigger than like this movie probably deserves, as we said. I love the soundtrack. I like not only the hip hop metal weird fusion soundtrack thing going on, but like I mostly like the Alan Silvestri score for this too. Like it
Weird ass jungle.
yeah,
drums
it's
everywhere.
like he
That
brings,
works.
Well, he
It
brings,
just-
but he brings. I mean, it's like it's so like a copycat of Predator 2, but it works. You know,
It
it's
kind of
like,
is.
Yeah,
And like
there's one musical cue. I was like, is that just straight lifted from Predator? Because like there's one thing where it's like, I know it's you and you did both of these. You know?
Well, from what the trivia says, he wrote an entire electronic score, and they were like, "Get that the fuck out of here! Make it more like Predator 2."
Okay.
So he was like,
all right.
"All right, jungle drums, here you go."
Yeah. So I don't know. I like a lot of what's going on there. Emilio Estevez isn't right for this.
No.
I mean that's the only thing. I like Emilio. I'm just saying like he's not right for this.
Well,
movie.
that's 2 movies now we've seen of him where it's
Yeah.
just like, you were not the reluctant action hero.
Right.
It's not you, dude. You're the Mighty Duck Man.
Yeah. No, I think replace him. I think everyone else is fine. I mean, the world has whatever issues it may or may not. He kind of dropped out of like the talk, but Jeremy Piven may be an asshole. We don't know.
I still don't know where
I
we
don't,
came
I don't know
down
where,
on
yeah.
that.
So, but whatever. It's so there's possible problematic people in this. I don't know. There's a lot I want to like about it. But like, man, this movie's long, and it creates the mortal sin of like, you sort of made this guy terrible. I mean, obviously he murdered several people, but like he didn't do anything like, drag your wife's coffin through the street bad, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
but still, like, just like, after all this chasing, I literally fell down some stairs, like just onto some stairs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I just like that's such a ending for your bad guy. I mean, other dudes kind of get it worse. The guy that gets it the worst is murdered by his own gang.
Yeah.
The drowning in the shit water of the sewer is probably the worst way you can go out after the dude had been shot.
Yeah.
It's like,
Having to listen to a
Yeah.
Dennis Leary monologue.
Well,
Luckily,
this
he
is
was
like-
underwater,
he's
so he
like,
probably couldn't hear all
I
of it.
just in a person. It's like and he's dead. But yeah, I think I can only give it 1 jocks. I still kind of recommend it because it can be fun. I don't know. It's just our mood for tonight was like through most of it. Like we didn't have a lot of jokes, or we weren't jiving with this movie particularly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
99% of this movie takes place in the dark, which is
Judgment Night.
Yes, right.
But luckily it's good. It's a good dark. Like you can see what everything is happening.
Well, I was
Yes,
just
it's a
about
well-lit
to
dark.
I was just about to praise that. Like this, they do an excellent job of making this movie look like night while also being visible, which is something that doesn't happen a lot in our oeuvre. So I have to applaud it for that, because I usually knock movies when they look like shit at night, because it's real easy to make movies look like shit at night. So, but I don't know. It's the softest recommend possible. If I could give it 0.1 jocks, I would. Just because if you run out of other movies somehow, then this is fine. You can watch it. It's not going to offend you.
Yeah.
I guess I'll give it 1 jocks. I think if you cut the train yard scene and about 10 to 15% of every other scene, this makes a swift, snappy movie. God, that train yard scene is so...
It's a momentum killer.
Yeah, it
just
really does. Because it's chase, stop.
Yeah.
And we just sit in the fucking train car and watch these hobos be hobos. Like, congratulations, you got your SAG card for this, but...
was that a sad card?
Yeah, SAG card, yeah.
I thought it was sad. Like, oh,
It is.
hobos.
It
You're an
is.
official
It is
hobo
sad.
now.
Official hobo.
Stay on board, and the train will take you to your next destination.
But there's just... there are plenty of other you can go watch Dennis Miller's Lifted from Bill Hicks stand-up.
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary, thank you. Sorry. My brain got hooked onto the Dennis Miller train about 40 minutes ago, and I can't get off. Choo-choo. But if you can listen to Dennis Leary's stand-up and get everything you need to out of Dennis Leary. There's nothing that he does special in this. There's nothing anybody really does special in this, I don't think. So it's a soft recommend.
I don't know.
I like Cuba Gooding Jr.'s crazy eyes when he gets the murder boner.
Yeah, because he just stops blinking and is just like staring straight ahead. I like Jeremy Piven's coked out freakouts. He doesn't sustain them long enough, but man, it's like early on, he is just like, man, fuck everything. And it's just like, the shit hasn't gone down yet, dude. You calm down.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of this is of your own making,
Yes,
So,
all of it,
It's
actually.
all his fault, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really feel like Emilio Estevez needs a win in this movie. Like, he's kind of a shithead, too. They're all the good guys are...
He's
trying.
He's just the least shitty.
He's
of them.
the least shitty.
Yeah.
He's trying, in a way, to rise above his buddies, but you know the shithead part is there, and you know he's done some shit. Like, he's probably beat up some... Like, they probably went and beat up some gay kids in a park or something.
Probably.
And
They tell you he has this side, and there's
Yeah.
even that moment where like he gets in Cuba Gooding Jr.'s face, and he's like, "Oh, there's the Frank I do," and it's like, really? Because that just seems like the same Emilio we saw 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, he's like, hey, man, stop it.
like, oh,
Yeah.
you're crazy now.
I mean, I think it says a lot this movie's not on Blu-ray. Like, just doesn't exist on Blu-ray. I think that might be soundtrack related. I'm not sure.
probably, yeah.
But if it's not, I think it's just total fucking disinterest. I think everyone's just like, we don't really need that. It'd be okay if we don't ever have that.
I mean, you could say that about pretty much all of Stephen Hopkins' filmography in a way. Look,
Yeah,
I'm not shitting on Predator 2.
You
I know.
can. I'm not the defender
No,
of
no.
it.
I mean, I'm okay with Predator 2. Like,
See, I think Blown Away is a much better film than either of those.
I feel like Blown Away is just like one of those, like, yeah, I saw that some years ago, and I had no desire to ever watch it again.
There's some good dumb shit in Blown Away.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Ghost in the Darkness is all right.
Yeah.
It's lion fighting.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, you can fuck off forever for making Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he started directing 24. So.
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It feels like a kind of lost film that doesn't need to be rediscovered. Like there's nothing you can really point to in this except the soundtrack, and I would just say get the soundtrack.
Yeah, I'd agree. Like, there are a lot of times where something sort of comes out of the woodwork, and we're like, "Oh yeah, you should see that."
Mm-hmm.
This comes out of the woodwork, and it's like, "Hi guys, I'm here." It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah.
you are."
Why don't you go have a
Bye.
seat in the woodwork?
Yeah.
Go get your fucking chai box.
So, did we
I don't want to be mean necessarily.
No.
to it,
Did we watch Trespass on here?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
That's the one where they end up like in a building and all. Okay, all right. So I feel like there is another movie like this, or I am just implanting images from like I seem to remember like an RV or a bus or something similar, like breaks down and like, but they spend like most of the movie camped out, hiding out in the RV or bus. And I for years I thought like when they got out of the bus or the RV as fast as they did, I was like, shit, I guess I don't remember this movie at all because like I saw this like years and years and years ago.
Right.
But I seem to remember like some movie where it was like similar kind of thing, like, oh no, yuppies go to the hood and it's like, but they were just like, well, we better hide out and make our stand here inside whatever large stupid vehicle they were in. I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I think I just was confusing or inventing a better movie in my head. Who knows? It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I misremembered a bunch of stuff about this movie. I thought Jeremy Piven went out a lot sooner than he did. I always thought it was a first act death, and it's the second act when he goes out. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's get to the second half because we have a lot of movies to talk about.
yeah, we do.
Oof.
Break time.
Break. Cookie break.
Cookie break.
Cookie break.
Cookie break.
Cookie break.
Cookie break. I'll drop a beat for cookie break.
Wiki what?
Cookie break. Better clear those cookies out.
Yeah.
It's a trap. I feel like all trap music should be required to use the Admiral Akbar line before dropping something.
Yes.
It's a trap. You.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, we could do that because BJ's not on headphones.
I was just saying nom. I wasn't actually smacking her.
Oh my god. Just say.
Oh, there's that hideous girl from Ready Player One. She has a birthmark on her face.
Oh god. So ugly.
Ugh. I can't even look at her.
Ugh.
Actually, I can't.
I remember that girl when it was revealed that she was so grotesque
She's in life itself.
with her birthmark.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Does she actually have a birthmark on her face, or was that spray painted on for the movie?
That was movie magic.
Wow.
Made her look like one of us.
Just like one of us underground gamer moles. Hideous with things on our faces.
We only come outside for more Mountain Dew.
And Funyuns.
Not anymore. We got Amazon for that shit.
That's right.
Drone
Drone that Mountain Dew right into my face, Amazon.
Got a dash button for Mountain Dew right on my monitor. And I just fucking jam that thing nonstop.
Now, the new Amazon 3D printer just prints Mountain Dew.
Fuck yeah, I would buy that.
I would totally.
Because that sounds
3D
like
print.
a motherfucking replicator.
I would download free Mountain Dew. Give me a Mountain Dew torrent, man. Just fucking steal all the Mountain
You
A
Dew.
would
torrent of
download
Mountain
a
Dew.
Mountain
Yep.
Dew.
I would. I
It's
totally
like
would.
a fucking fire hose.
Come at me, soda conglomerates. I'll be behind so many proxies you won't know who's stealing the dew. What?
You forgot to drop the
I
cookies
did.
on the cookie
I
break here.
What? Wah, 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 wah.
Cookie.
I'm good, thank you.
How could it be a cookie party if not everyone's in?
Look, I already had a cookie. I'm in the party. I'm just...
You're the fucking lame-o designated driver of the cookie party. I'm just kidding.
Listen, bitch.
Oh, it's
What?
gonna be like that.
Yes.
I'm gonna step outside like Stephen Dorff. Let's fucking go. By that I mean I'll cry as soon as we start to fight.
Perfect. That's my strategy.
Your
mother doesn't love you.
I'm dropping the beat for everything. Your mother doesn't love you.
No, those cookies are fucking delicious, and I want one, but
But you're trying to watch your figure.
I am. I'm doing really good, too. Well, all you got to do is ask,
All right.
big fella. No, I'm doing really well, and I'm super happy about it. And it's from not eating 2 cookies. I can have, like 1.
Un cookie. No, dos cookie.
Right.
All right, let's get to it. We have movies to discuss.
eating the cookie.
No, hurry the fuck up. Cookie party's over. Cookie party's over.
You almost jammed your microphone into the
Space
bar
bar.
there.
Party at the space bar.
I'm going to go home and hit the button on my dubstep gun.
Good.
And that is not a euphemism.
Me too, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to fucking town on my button.
I'm gonna mash that button with great Skrillex.
Wait till you see my sick drop.
You're going to do something with the beat.
Ah,
Fap the beat.
Fat music.
Oh, yep.
done with cooking over there,
Yeah.
Cookie Boy?
We all had cookies. Why am I the cookie boy?
Oh, you're
not
a
a cookie
cookie
boy.
boy. You're the cookie boy.
Who's your little
Who's a cookie boy?
Who's your little cookie
You
boy?
cookie boy.
Please stop.
Chuck's my little cookie boy.
Doughy little fuck.
You're lucky I'm high as fuck right now on the weed cookies.
Or what? You would make him cry by threatening violence? Yeah.
No, I would just be sadder than I am right now. But I'm feeling no pain because these
you're the
cookies.
cookie boy.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We're gonna totally hug it out
Oh yeah,
at some point.
we're gonna dock.
Horizontal hug out. Little.
Dawkins rocking. Rocking that Dawkins.
Gross.
If the podcasts are rocking, don't come a knocking, because each other's got each other's cocking their socking.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. Docking the cocking.
Yeah. Hi, I'm docking the cocking here for the 8 o'clock news.
From Scotland.
Yeah. Docking the cocking.
Docking McCacken.
The fucking weather's gonna be great. That's just what I'm digs.
Oh, Rubdick's my favorite trap music artist.
That's Bone Rub and Little Dicks.
Whistle Dick makes
supposed to be up
the car
cooking
go woo.
Supposed to be out cooking breakfast.
It's only for decoration.
That's it. That's all.
I'm all hot.
Oh yeah. All that talk about docking, huh? Yeah.
Oh, my little cookie boy's heating up.
Yeah, I'm starting to rise.
375.
Getting all plump.
Yeah.
I'm here get ooey and gooey and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, with raisins. What?
I'm gonna ice your cookie.
What's wrong with us? What's happening?
We're just
You've produced a snickerdoodle.
Oh boy.
I listen to Ginger Snap music. That's it. That's the last one I got, I think.
Shake that Laffy Taffy.
Yes. We're just getting all. Christmas is over. Mm-hmm. It's time for a gay new year.
Yeah, it is. Finally.
All right.
All right. 2nd
Let's
half.
get serious now. No more jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were doing a bunch of fuck jokes.
Yep, yep.
Yep.
All right.
Time to drop that second half.
I like that you do it for yourself, even if no one's paying
really
attention. You still just change the graphic and make some dumb noise. Michael Winslow.
It's so
Michael
Michael
Winslow
Winslow third. Michael Winslow or third, yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, let's do this.
Michael Winslow would have made that movie better.
Judgment Night?
Yeah! Fuck yeah!
That would have been ridiculous.
Yes! Exactly.
You're just constantly making machine
I
gun
know.
noises and
The
freaking everyone out.
RV was like me.
He'd have been useful for distracting Dennis Leary.
Oh, just,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
sure.
He can throw his sounds across
Yeah.
the room.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Whoa. The bleeps, the creeps, and the sweeps.
All
All right, let's do this. All right, and welcome back.
Hey! BMFcast.
Woo!
Number 2.
Yeah.
We are back.
We're all hopped up on Mountain Dew, and we're going to do a second half.
Yeah.
Mount and do it.
We got some movies to talk about.
We sure do.
I have the most recent. Do I?
Do you?
No, he does.
He does.
I went
went
to
to
a
a
theater.
Oh, you went to a theatre.
I went to a theatre.
No.
Yeah, so I saw Aquaman,
Yay!
along with a lot of other people, I guess.
Yeah.
Senor
It's making money.
Aqua.
So,
Do we need to go see Aquaman?
I think you should probably see Aquaman.
Okay.
I know it's not everyone's going to share my feeling, but I think it helps having a very low expectation when it comes to DC movies at this point. So anything average or above is wow, yeah, right. we're doing okay here.
Wow. You
but-
made a cohesive story.
Yeah, I this one just kind of tickled my fancy in the way that it is. Look, this is I was just talking about keeping expectations low when it comes to DC movies. However, I am not comparing it quality wise to, but if they are stealing things from each other, mostly DC for Marvel movies, then this one borrows a lot of the attributes of Thor Ragnarok to me.
Okay.
It has bright colors, undersea craziness, wacky, almost alien-like creatures under the sea, and a badass mostly synthwave soundtrack.
Okay.
It was just like, it just started hitting me in all the right ways. Like when the synth stuff was kicking in, I was like, I don't know. I mean, because Thor makes sense. Thor has this mythical, crazy 70s, that Walt Simonson era of Thor is like what everyone wants to capture. It's just like, fucking Vikings are badass, man. Like that's just
Right.
that whole 70s mystique of like fucking airbrushed art on the side of a van. And like that Thor Ragnarok was like that fucking side of the van came to life in movie form.
Yeah.
It's not that. I mean, Aquaman is not that. So,
right.
Temper your expectations. I'm just saying it is picking some of that aesthetic and putting it in this movie.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm mostly all on board with this movie. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It's crazy. It gets like, I feel like of all of them, the crazy CG ending is the most cohesive and earns it more than others.
It's not just like, oh, here's a giant thing in the dark. Now fight it.
Yeah, it's like when they produce their crazy giant thing, it's like, fuck yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I don't think you need any prior Aquaman knowledge. It pretty much will walk you through everything you need to know about Aquaman's thing and why he's like doing what he's doing and where he needs to get to. I mean, it's all very much just the King Arthur story. In fact, then if you
Did he pull
he does. He
a
goes.
lady in a lake throw a trident at him?
Well, he has to go seek a magical trident that long lost that will be like, yeah, if you have this, it's going to show you the truth of shit. It's like the one
Alright.
trident to rule them all.
That makes sense, yeah.
So, yeah. There we go. Sorry. You got a cookie there.
Cookie phlegm.
Hey. Yeah.
So is that part of like the actual Aquaman mythos?
With all of these characters, you could pick any time they've told their origin story, and there will be.
Okay, that's one of them.
Yeah.
There's not like a standard.
I don't know.
A sailor fucked a dolphin and birthed Namor, King of the Sea, or whatever the fucking.
Well, as a matter of fact, Namor is actually older than Aquaman.
I don't know any of these dudes.
I'm just throwing it out there. He is.
Thank you.
Does
Everyone always says Namor is a ripoff of Aquaman. It's kind of backwards.
Oh.
By a year.
I kind of thought they were the same guy. So that's me. That's me and my comic book knowledge. I'm sorry.
Does this gel at all with what they set up in Justice League, or does it pretty much pretend like? I mean, I know Justice League wasn't in depth about the history of this character. Or
No, he
anything,
just kind of shows up and is like, "Yeah, I'm all right." It definitely lives in the Justice League universe. Like things that happen in Justice League have happened.
Okay.
Like it's not like this is like, oh, this is before or whatever. It's like this is post Justice League.
Okay.
And yeah, he's just kind of like he's known. People are talking about the Aquaman, but he's still kind of being aloof. He's still like just like wants to live his life and
Yeah.
fix some shit on the side, but just kind of disappear and get drunk on the
Yes.
side.
Right. Come into the ocean bar.
Yeah.
Get a drink.
Yeah, but yeah, it's fun. I enjoy this movie
Okay.
a lot. It's nice to look at. It gets a little. It was a little distracting for like the first 5 minutes. What they do with the underwater scenes, because it's like obviously the actors aren't standing underwater and saying lines because that's ridiculous. So they've just kind of got like a shimmer.
Yeah,
Thing
there was
effect.
one scene of that in Justice League where it was just like, "Are you underwater? Like, are you just in a bubble? What's happening?"
Yeah, it's just you kind of like after the first scene it happens, you're just like, all right, whatever. I'm going to deal with this.
Right.
It's just this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And their hair is going to kind of
Yeah,
float around behind them.
I
a
had
little bit.
thought about that. I was like, "Well, you don't just want them staring at each other doing some sort of telepathic conversation bullshit."
Yeah, it's not that it's bad. I wish whatever engine or company or whatever Warner Brothers is using for these DC movies would just get a little bit better at CG.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to rely so heavily on it, just like, let's do a little better, guys. Like, Marvel's shit is pretty good at this point. And especially, like, Marvel's de-aging thing is damn near scary.
Incredible.
Damn near scary.
Yeah.
And they have to do a little bit of that in this because, they have to de-age Nicole Kidman and Jango Fett. I don't remember how to say his name. Tamo Pinnickett, or have you say his name? The guy who played Jango Fett.
Right.
That's Arthur's parents.
Okay.
Not a spoiler. It's literally the first scene of the movie.
Yes.
But yeah, so, and also in the trailers. But I'm saying, like, they have to do a little de-aging of them because it's like, they've got to show how they met and blah blah blah. So it's like, yeah, okay, that just looks a little weird. I mean, Nicole Kidman's fine because she still looks relatively young for her age. So it's like you don't have to do a lot to her.
Right.
They kind of went a little overboard on the other dude. It's like, okay, you just look weird, de-aged.
Yeah.
But yeah, but all it's good. I don't want to really say anything more because I think you should just see it.
Well, okay. Man, just looking, there are people in this I didn't even know were in this.
Yeah, there's even down to like voices because like people spoke, CG characters spoke, and I was like, is that? And yes.
Okay.
I will say from having watched Wonder Woman recently, and I think I mentioned it, the CG is kind of rough.
Yeah.
And if it hasn't improved much,
Yeah.
that's kind of a worry. It feels like they're about.
It has because they have to do a lot more of it in this one. I mean,
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
the underwater shit gets nuts by
It
the end.
feels like DC is probably 5 to 8 years behind in
Yeah.
that department.
This is better.
Which is-
like Justice
which
League
is
had
sad. They have-
really bad CG. Justice
Have
League was,
all-
Yeah, Justice League was
Plenty
was
of money.
embarrassing.
but I think Justice League also suffered from like reshoots
Yeah.
and like like, oh shit, we got to do CG fast.
Right.
And
Yeah,
just-
they seem to be making this for a long time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think this was like the last one because like they were like, well, we're making a Flash movie, maybe we're not.
Yeah. Right.
And now the whole thing seems like it's falling apart. This might be the last thing, really. I mean, I guess they're doing the fuck you release of Shazam. That's really what it feels like. We're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we shot out a Shazam movie to go like, we got a Captain Marvel too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, guys, great.
Yeah, I mean, if they could just keep like the Aquaman, Wonder Woman thing
I
going.
would have watched the shit out of the Flash movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Ezra Miller, and
Yeah,
like,
he was all right.
And they were gonna Kiersey Clemens was gonna be Iris West, so I was on board with that 100%. So.
Yeah.
She supposedly was supposed to have a scene in Justice League that got caught, but they precast her and like, yeah, come in here and when you do a Flash movie, it's going to be you. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Let me talk about one of my movies real quick.
okay.
No.
Get the worst one out of the way before I say good things about the other two movies. I watched The Predator, and I knew
The recent The Predator.
Yeah, I knew going in. I knew how much Mackie was disappointed by that, and I kind of had the feeling like I was going to feel that way too. But I was still giving this movie the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And 15, 20 minutes into it, I'm like, no, this is good. Like, what's wrong? And man, does that movie go wrong? Just absolutely 100% wrong at all. I'm just shocked. I mean, I understand the studio fucked with it. I understand that, but it's just it's so shocking to me that it's a Shane Black movie and it's bad, like really bad. Like every time Shane Black has had a movie in like the last 15 years, I've been like, oh no, that's great too, and I really like that. And this is just like, oh, this is your shit. Like this, you were at the beginning of this. Like, let's do this.
Yep.
And it just felt like he said, my character told 2 jokes in the original Predator about pussy, so I'm just gonna have everyone in this movie talk about pussy. And it's like, I don't need that. Like that, I'm not here for that. All these Predator movies, they just feel like they are somehow entrenched in this first movie nostalgia that they have to do 3 or 4 things from that, and it's like you don't. Mm-hmm. You really don't. The Predator is all the nostalgia you need. Like I really don't need variations on the get to the chopper line.
Honestly, I think like that's why I think Predator 2 has aged so good because it tries to do very little rehashing from the first one.
Yeah, it's just basically like now they're in a city and it's a whole bunch of new characters. Go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I give it props for that. I still think Predator 2 is kind of too over the top.
Oh, then the end is a green screen weird mess.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, but then, man, I just Olivia Munn's character in this serves no purpose except that when she tells people that she has a purpose, but then that purpose never comes into play. Like, there's a moment with her early on that she keeps telling people about that happened, like a defense mechanism of sorts that will prevent predator murder, perhaps, that never comes into play. And it's weird. It's like, they don't explain why they did it. They don't explain why she keeps telling people about it, and then no one ever does anything like it. It's just, it's so strange. There are a couple of moments here and there that there's one thing that happened that I just fucking laughed out loud hard, like to where I had to pause the movie during like early chaos where there's a severed arm and the guy driving a truck. The Predator's just fucking murdering people in the back of this truck, and there's a severed arm on the ground, and the guy's just like, hey, you guys okay back there? And the Predator just picks up the severed arm, shapes it into the form of a thumbs up, and puts it through the truck window. I fucking lost my shit and laughed at that forever, and I was like, there's nothing else in the movie that comes close to that moment, and that's crazy. And then, like, whatever the fuck their sequel tease thing is at the end of that,
I hate to say it, I would be so on board for that.
but it negates everything.
I know,
it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but I would watch the shit out of that movie, and I know I'm a terrible person for thinking that.
I mean, yeah, that does look kind of cool, and I might be on board with that, but just...
It comes out of fucking nowhere, and it makes no sense.
It's
and
like,
it's dumb.
the Predator was bringing this thing to protect us. And then when we saw the Predator, it murdered everyone. It's like, no, you didn't come here to protect anybody. You came here to fucking murder everything.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make any sense.
What man, that's a heartbreaking movie. Like, everything about that movie should have been good, and barely any of it is. It's just one of those movies I kind of went cross-eyed at and just was like, yeah. And then, like Mackie was talking about, there are a couple characters who die in the third act, and I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
How did that fucking happen? What happened to that
the one
person?
dude especially, it's just like, he is your human villain, and it's like, literally blink and you miss his death.
Yeah. Yes, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Why did that? What? That's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And like I read,
There's half a good movie there.
Sure. I read a bunch of stuff about why they changed what they changed and what they did, why they did what they had to do, and blah blah blah. But it's like I've never understood why these giant tentpole movies always seem to have problems, especially in the third act, and they have to redo the whole thing. But then,
because test screening audience, I think.
I know, but then what they redo is pure, utter bullshit. It's like none of it makes any sense. It doesn't match with anything in the first two acts.
No,
but
test audiences need to go away. Like, they really do. Like, I mean, I'm not saying don't show your movie to anyone, because then you're going to get, like, Zack Snyder masturbatory things. That
whatever,
are, like,
show it to 5 people.
Well, I mean, just, like, show it to other, like, show it to colleagues, show it to other filmmakers, so that they can go, like, well, I make movies, and that's what? Why is that there?
Yes. Yeah. Show it to people who are going to come at it with a critical eye, not just like, not enough explosions. It's like, I like explosions too, but it's whatever. Anyway, it's sad, and I never want to talk about it again.
Okay.
Unless they release some sort of like Shane Black version.
I was going to say, if his cut exists somewhere out there, the unfucked with version, I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'd like to know what it was, but man, it's a decent movie that just goes off a cliff into, man, this sucks. So
I got another one that's fairly new. What, you said you have something fairly new before I jump in?
Oh, it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
The last Christmas movie that we will talk about for 10 months.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah.
It's new. It's got a new Santa. Somebody that I don't think anybody expected to be a Santa anytime soon. But here he is. Kurt Russell, the Santa Claus. Christopher Kringle, jolly old Saint Nick.
Correct. Yes.
There's nothing new about Christmas Chronicles except Kurt Russell is Santa Claus, and Kurt Russell as Santa Claus needs to be the only Santa Claus until he dies.
Who's Santa Claus?
Kurt Russell.
Oh.
He is better than insert cast member of Cheers here.
Than literally every other Santa Claus. There's just... Man, every bit of Kurt Russell charm is on display when he is Santa Claus. I almost said fucking Santa Claus, but he doesn't do that in this movie. It's a kid's movie.
I don't know. Give it time. That ending sequence.
Yeah,
it could happen.
It's true.
But Yeah, it is so plain and generic Christmas bullshit movie, except for it's got Kurt Russell in it. The kids are a little bit too precocious. It's your standard, you got to believe in Santa Claus or the fucking world will end or whatever, or Santa will go in the wood chipper. I don't know. But but yeah, Kurt Russell just shows up and turns on the fucking charm. He's acting his ass off in that. And I appreciate the fuck out of it.
Yeah, he really cares. Like, he is on board, and that's what makes the movie.
Everything that he's doing, he is trying and trying hard. And there's a musical sequence, which I normally... Man, if it was somebody like fucking Tim Allen or Woody... Well, maybe not Woody Harrelson, but like...
Wow. Okay, wait a minute.
I was just going...
A Woody Harrelson Santa Claus movie would be great.
Yeah, I realized I was going for a
Well,
Cheers
you just
actor.
said I was going to say you want no Cheers actors, but what
Yeah.
about
Oh,
Woody?
shit. Fuck. You're
Yeah.
right. God damn it.
But it's not like George Wendt. Like, if George Wendt had a fucking musical, jazzy, rocking musical number, I'd be like, nah, fuck you, movie, I'm out.
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell,
Yeah. What about John Ratzenberger singing
Nope,
Santa
I'm
Claus?
out.
Santa
I
Claus.
don't want to hear
All right.
Chicago Dog's Christmas or whatever from John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, when it started, like, Harlow and I were like, oh,
Oh,
no,
boy.
don't do this. And then it was like, oh, no, this is okay. Kurt
Yeah.
Russell's having fun here.
Yeah, he's having a fucking blast.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil where it takes place because I think it's funnier if you are surprised by when it takes place.
Christmas?
No, by where it takes place.
Oh.
Sorry, the location in which it takes place.
Oh,
The
right.
specific location
I
in which
understand.
it takes place.
Yes.
But yeah, somehow it hooked it, like, got its hooks in me at the end, and got the emotions flowing a little bit.
What did you think about the minions? The little gremlin elves.
Oh, they're fine.
Okay.
They're fine. They're just little CG nightmares.
It almost becomes a different movie when they show up.
A little bit. I thought it was gonna get.
It becomes the wrong movie when they show up.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna get bad, but it's fine.
No, I mean it should have become like a weird Dark Gremlins thing that it
Yeah.
teased for half a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been good.
Because that one with the chainsaw was going to cut that guy in the dick.
Yeah, he was. But they didn't ruin the movie for me, thank goodness. It's past the time when you should stop watching Christmas movies. Officially this morning at 12:01 a.m.
Dawn. You had until dawn.
Until dawn?
Until
Okay,
dawn.
Fine. You had until dawn, but you can't watch any more Christmas movies. But it's a Netflix joint, so put it on put it in your list and get to it next year. November. I will look at the
Day after Thanksgiving.
day after Thanksgiving,
Whatever day that is.
or as soon as you've
It's a
taken.
Friday.
Okay.
Oh, good to know that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I would say, I don't want to relax my rules too much, but after your first nap of Thanksgiving, I think you can watch a Christmas movie.
I was gonna say I think the moment Santa rides out in Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade,
Yes.
Christmas is on.
Christmas has arrived.
What time is that usually? Is
About
that in the morning?
11:30.
Yeah.
No, it's too early. You have to have had your Thanksgiving lunch/dinner and then taken your first nap. So
Okay.
whenever that happens for you, if that's like 11:30, but on November 28th, 2019, after your first nap,
Okay.
go for it. Watch Christmas Chronicles.
Put that in the time capsule.
Yep.
Come back in a year.
So, do you have a segue? I have a segue.
No, I don't have a segue. Hit it.
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of Netflix joints.
Oh,
Hey,
there it
there
is.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you watch?
I watched the Bird Box.
Yeah, the Bird Box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bird Box.
Bird Box.
This is
Bird Box.
this is a Netflix movie I'd actually heard of.
Yeah.
I was
People are
aware
going-
when it came out.
People are going off about this movie. If you want to see it, you need to watch it now.
Yeah, I know.
before it gets spoiled for you,
Yeah.
because people are memeing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna be spoiler free. I think.
Does it have birds?
It has birds.
Does it have a box?
There are birds in a box. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, I am a sucker for almost any post-apocalyptic scenario type movie. I'm especially a sucker for like as it's happening movies.
Yes.
Give me a Mad Max where it's like, well, if thing happened in the past, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. Then now people are living in, leather and chainsaws and metal studs and cars and stuff. But this one is like, kind of does like a little back and forth, like here's some time has passed versus like here's the shit going down. The thing is, like, if you turn your brain off, this movie is really good and really a lot of fun and really well done. The problem is like there's more plot holes in this movie than a brick of Swiss cheese. So it's like I don't want to get into them because it's just like there's a lot of things that it's like you can't. I don't want to be that person. Like I like to have a certain suspension of disbelief when I'm watching a movie. However, my brain just kept going, but why? You know, and I couldn't help it because it was just like I don't want to be that person, but then sometimes a movie, like, I don't need it to hit every point that my brain could possibly conceive of. I like it sometimes when movies do, at least in a subtle way. You know, like, you're probably thinking this, but we're going to explain it away with this.
Right.
This movie doesn't bother. It's just like, this is the rules of what's happening, and deal with it. And it may not make sense. It may not make sense, the rules of how the evil operates, and it makes even less sense how people could do what they're doing when they're doing it, and how, you know, like, it's just, there's a lot of, like, plot holes in this. Otherwise, like, it's really good. Like, it's, that's really all I can say. I don't really want to be spoilery at all. I keep joking. I mean, you know, it's the thing everyone's saying, where it's like, oh, it's a Quiet Place ripoff. It is and it isn't, because I understand the book was written before Quiet Place was even a thing. But it's still fun to joke about because it just seems like, all right, that may be true. Netflix also could have seen A Quiet Place back in February and be like, well, let's fucking option something like that because we can do this shit. You know, like, I don't think Quiet Place was quite that early, but it was early in the year enough that I think Netflix could have made this movie because there's not a lot of, like, post-production stuff that would need to be done. You know, it's a fairly kind of simple movie. Not to say it looks bad or it's simple or Netflix level bullshit, you know, green screen things. It's a real movie that just happens to be on Netflix.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, watch it. You know, you can. I wouldn't be offended if somebody go like, I fucking hate it. I'd be like, I'm with you. I get it. There's plot holes galore, but like, if you can suspend disbelief and just like watch it as a movie, it's a lot. It's good.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's like you just start questioning and be like, I don't. Why not? Like, why does this stop this, or why does this not happen with this? It's like, that doesn't make any sense. And the movie is the most vague about the evil whatever thing that is happening to people. The reason shit has gone crazy is one weird dude is like quasi. I mean, he's got a lot of like internet facts, but like he's just like wildly speculating, and that's like the movie's like.
It's this.
Good enough. Good enough. Like, whatever that guy says, probably it.
Okay.
You know, it's just kind of like, all right, well, thanks for that Hunger Games-esque, like, bullshit thing, you know, explanation. You know, it's like, it just feels like a young adult novel that they were, like, trying to adapt super seriously. Like, it's young adult level of stupid, and it's just like, no, but we're going to make a real movie with real actors and, like, you know, make it for reals. It's just like, but, you know, you look at it for a second, it's like, well, that makes no goddamn sense. Like, Quiet Place made sense.
Right.
Like, everything that happened in that, it was like, yeah, you know, you're not going to explain why thing are, but like, you know, like I see thing, you tell me how it operates, and this was just like spooky.
Yeah. That's how I felt about the Cloverfield paradox. Was like, I realize this is a bunch of shoehorned bullshit. None of it is actually supposed to make sense. You're just trying to make it a Cloverfield movie, but I just liked being in that world.
Sure, yeah.
It was just like, this is cool.
And this is moody as fuck. I mean, I will absolutely say, please watch Quiet Place first. I mean, it's just, it's whatever. I don't care if it's going to be in my top 5 when it gets to Golden Jocks 5. I'm not going to, it's just, I fucking love that movie.
Okay.
This is really good too, though. It's just like, please watch that one. I mean, I know this one's easy access. It's like right there. It's on Netflix and all that, but goddamn Quiet Place is so much better. It's just, it's so much more moody and good, and this one is still a good movie. And you may come away like, because it's not as, like, Quiet Place is dark. It's fucking dark, and like there's a lot of like awful things that happen, and like, not saying there's happy things happen in this, but it doesn't end you with that, like, I keep dropping his name, but that Cormac McCarthy is like, oh God, bleak, you know, thing. You know, like this one just doesn't have that level of, oh dear God, this is the worst. You know, it's not good, but it's like, it doesn't have that like holy shit, like I was drained after watching Quiet Place. You know, so anyway. I got two more movies, but I'll let someone else jump in if you want to.
Let me just do mine real quick here. I just want to mention a movie called Kin, which is a 2018 movie.
Okay.
I feel like that is a movie people need to see before they make any lists. That can refer to people in this room or not.
K-I-N?
Yes. It is better the less you know about it.
Okay.
Just know it is kind of a moody crime drama / science fiction tale. It's got two wildly different plots smushed together, and you wouldn't think they work the way they do. And then it just has a fucking bonkers ending. So it's real good. There's a bunch of people in it who probably shouldn't be in it, like Dennis Quaid and just people who seem like they should be in other movies, bigger movies.
Okay.
So
Yeah, Dennis Quaid's hit that B-tier movie thing for a while now.
yeah, but I don't know.
He was rocking some really good B movies there for a while, like semi-decent budget B movies.
Yeah. So this is all right. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Worth a look. The other thing, Harlow already talked about it, but The House with a Clock in Its Walls. I decided I needed to check that out. Man, that is a weird PG necromancy blood magic.
Yeah.
Like, was no one paying attention in the cultural outrage department of when this movie came
know,
out? Because this is ostensibly a fun movie for kids, and it's fucking Satan-y as fuck. I mean, I'm not offended. I don't care, but it was just fun watching it, just being like, holy shit.
I think they just they just tried to ride the Harry Potter coattails. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, kids are okay with witches and shit now,
Yeah.
right? It's like, yeah, okay.
Exactly. That is what it feels like. It's like, we're warlocks. Are we bad warlocks? No, we're good warlocks. Okay, cool. That's it. We have to stop the bad warlocks. The end. It's that's the extent of its like moralization of what's going on. I thought the first 2/3 of that movie were all right, and then I thought the third act was fucking awesome, and I was just completely on board by that point. Like when characters' motivations would come to life and do stuff, I would just be like, yeah, I'm on board. Yeah, do that, lady. I really appreciate you doing these things. And like, I don't know, that movie just works, and it has no reason to.
Yeah.
It's a CG nightmare. There's a lot of just
I think it's really good to you, for the most part.
but it's just like, here's an animated chair, and it's like, all right.
Hey, Pee-wee.
I really don't need Pee-wee's Playhouse in this witch's house, but yeah, it's.
You mean the guy with his cock in the halls?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. The one thing that kind of stood out to me about that was like the subject matter of that movie is really disturbing. This like little kid whose parents are dead, and he's bringing evil back to life, and through witchcraft and stuff like that. And I'm like, this is all really disturbing. But then like there are scene after scene after scene of characters who are supposedly insulting each other, and it is the most 1950s schoolyard. Just like, yeah, well, you stink. I mean, it's just like it's the tamest. Like they're well written. Lines.
I love like that interaction.
Yeah,
the Kate Blanchett.
But it just
thing.
seemed like at some point someone has to say something harsher than what you're saying, and they never. So that was a little odd. That was like, oh right, this is a kids movie, and then the next scene they're raising the dead or something like that. So I don't know. I would have liked a PG-13 version of that, just a little darker.
Okay.
Not to say that movie isn't dark. It's dark. It's probably the most sinister PG movie I've ever seen.
No, I don't know about that. But I've seen some. There's some sinister shit.
Well,
from the 80s
I mean,
and
ones that are ostensibly for kids. I'll say that.
Yeah, I'm saying. There's
I mean,
still
Gremlins is PG. It's fucking dark.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're like, God
I mean, Something Wicked This Way Comes
Yeah,
is fucking a nightmare. The black hole is a goddamn just you'll never sleep again nightmare.
I mean, that section in Willy Wonka is crazy as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think in this day and age when PG means fuck all, it's just for like a dog's service, or some dog in Afghanistan follows his owner home, or it's just that movie that comes out every 3 months.
oh shit, I don't know why this made me think. I have to tell you about this before I talk about my next two movies.
Okay.
I was at the movies. I think it was before Spider-Man. I think these were Sony previews, and I don't think I mentioned it last week. There were two previews that when they started up, I was 100% convinced it was the cell phone thing. Like the thing they used to do when
Like
they make
the,
a fake,
shut up
they
and-
make the fake preview and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
They were real goddamn movies. Like there was one I was like, when it was over, I was like, holy fucking shit, the cell phone never rang. That's a real movie. Oh my god. I was shocked. It was so it was the most generic like Blindside white people, black people must get together sports thing.
Ooh, they must get together.
Yeah, they get
Yes,
they
they
get some
load their
muskets.
muskets.
No, like it was just
Civil
like
War movie.
Like it was happening, and like it was like the single tear rolling down the eye, and I was like, that fucking cell phone is ringing any second now, and it was like in sports, and it was like, and I don't know, sir, your father served as well, and he's a hero, and it was like. What the fuck is the plot of this movie? And it was saying a film by the makers of this, and I was like, never fucking heard of this. Acclaimed filmmaker, I've never heard of that person. That's made up. And then it was like actual thing came out like coming October of next year, and I was like, that's a real fucking movie.
You know, in October of next year, they're going to start to play that movie, and it's actually going to be the cell phone thing.
The
I
movie.
swear to
You'll
God.
buy a ticket for it, and it'll be the cell phone
long-
warning.
But there
It's a
were
long con.
two. There was
They're
another
both
one.
long cons.
There was another one that was like, guy gets a dog. He grows up with the dog. Then the dog runs away, and it's like,
Yeah, Dog's Way Home.
okay, is that really what it's called?
Yep. I've been seeing commercials for it, and I thought it was a fake movie.
Okay, so yeah, that shit
I kept
showed-
waiting for the M&Ms to show up.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was like, okay, dog has to like. I think it talks. It's like it saves some random person in an avalanche, and I was like, this is a real fucking movie. Holy shit! Where's the cell phone ringing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's what I mean. There's every year in January there's some dog movie.
I wish I'd been with somebody because I was by myself, so I was like, I'm not going to turn to random stranger and go, this is a real fucking movie. Like, there's no cell phone ringing.
This person would have got up and changed rows, even though
Probably.
they were assigned
Yeah,
seats.
but yeah, it was weird. Anyway, actual movies that I watched.
Uh-huh.
I just want to quickly say, as I'm doing my catch up for 2018 stuff, I did watch Skyscraper.
Okay.
Yeah, that movie's ludicrous. That
Uh-huh.
movie is so unbelievably ludicrous, and yet I think you said this, and I don't think it was just a random thought that popped in my head. Everything I was watching in that movie, I was like, yeah, The Rock could do that.
Yep, that was
even
me.
even with one leg, he could do that.
Yep.
Like,
Doesn't
I-
matter how absurd the thing is. Yeah, I believe The Rock could be
I
doing
was
that
just
right
like,
now.
I was just like, everything that was happening, I was like, yeah, he could do that. Like, he could actually do that.
Yes.
And
It was never a question
I
in my
swear
mind.
to God, like, I don't believe, I know I don't have a fear of heights.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone in crazy places, leaned over the edges of windows. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It's outside, breeze blowing, I don't like being up high where on rickety things.
Right.
Ladders, scaffolding.
Unsecured heights.
Unsecured
Give
heights.
me the willies.
I don't even really like being up on like lighthouses because they're outside. It's like it's usually wrought iron, and I'm like, this is also old. I'm not comfortable up here.
Like the St. Augustine Lighthouse.
yeah,
it freaks me out a little bit.
Basically, any lighthouse, and those aren't that tall. Like comparatively speaking to things where I've
Tall
been.
enough to fucking kill you.
Sure. Yeah, there's usually rocks underneath and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
30 feet, that's all you need.
I don't really have a quote unquote fear of heights that I know of. My palms sweat for an hour fucking straight watching Skyscraper.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was over and it was like, just seriously, I was like, I don't know what it was. I was like, it was like the same thing when I played certain Assassin's Creed games where I was just like, why my hands are sweaty? I'm playing a goddamn video game. What the hell's wrong with me?
Yeah, one of the Batmans ended on scaffolding up on a building, and I was just like, nope, cannot handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, Skyscraper was like that for me too.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It's okay. It's a fun dumb movie.
It's fun and dumb.
Yeah, and I even though it's like Chekhov's Hall of Mirrors in the beginning of the movie, I was like,
Yeah.
well, when it started happening, I was like, all right, let's fucking enter the dragon and do this. I
Yeah,
don't care.
when they showed that off and they were just like, and all these do this, I'm like, no, they just pop up and it's a Hall of Mirrors. That's all it's going to be. I know that's all it's going to be, and
Right.
that's all it was.
Yeah. Anyway, I was fine with it.
Yeah.
And last one. This one's a weird one to talk about because I'm watching all the 2018 movies. I feel like I'm gonna. I didn't immediately. I liked the movie a lot. I didn't immediately love it. However, I also immediately bought it,
Okay.
and that's the movie First Man.
All right.
I watched that.
Yeah.
So it's a really good movie, and I'm hesitant to say it because man, it's going to sound hyperbolic, but like the whole time watching it, I was like, well, this is the right stuff too. Like they went and did it. They finally made another right stuff, and this is it. This is like it feels like it picks up exactly at the time period that the right stuff ends, and
Kind of does.
yeah, and it's like, and it's just like, well, we're gonna keep going from here, and that's a really good thing in my mind because the right stuff is one of my favorite movies.
Yes.
So I pretty much immediately was like, watch movie. okay, I somehow don't own the right stuff on Blu-ray. Well, got to fix that. And then I immediately like ordered a 4K copy of this because this movie's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It's like the right stuff works because it's like I mean, you're mostly following Chuck Yeager, and you get some extended time with other people. You get to know other characters, but it's like you're mostly seeing the movie through his lens. And other things are happening. But this is very much like 100%. This is one guy, and the other people are like from his periphery, like including his wife, his kids, everything else. It's like it is all through like Neil Armstrong's eyes, basically in this movie. I've said. I don't know how I feel about Ryan Gosling multiple times. Like I will feel like I watch a movie, I'm like, damn, Ryan Gosling's really good, and I watch another one, I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I don't like him. Like this movie mostly changed it. I thought he was fucking phenomenal in this movie.
Okay.
It's kind of his like Blade Runner sort of like muted performance thing, where it's like the less said the better, and it's all going to be in looks. So if you don't like that Ryan Gosling, it's not going to do it for you. But it really, really, really worked for me. And god damn it, there is a thing that like the internet is already arguing to death about accuracy.
Oh.
It fucking 100% worked for me. Like almost brought me to fucking tears.
Okay.
But it's like it's so good, and it's like it's plausible enough that it was like, because I had to do some reading because it was like the biographer and everything was like, well, this could happen because like they were given X amount of like personal time on the moon and things like that, and like
Oh, okay.
So it was like it's plausible this could happen. We don't know, no one can confirm it, but it's just like it fucking works.
You're talking about the scene where he jerks off on the moon.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, man, I was just like, it's just a
Totally works for me.
sea of tranquility.
See on her tranquilities.
Yeah, but I'm. Here's the thing, like I fucking adore Whiplash. Like Whiplash is phenomenal. I was so mixed on La La Land. Like La La Land should have been a movie that was so up my alley, but I was so I was so conflicted on that movie.
Yeah.
I felt like he's like the Damien. I don't know how to say his last name now, but he's fucking like this is back. Like I think this movie's phenomenal.
Okay.
It's just a really good character study piece type thing. I whenever anybody makes a biopic about people of like arguably American hero type things and or something where people are so into it, like space, the people come out of the woodwork like actually, and that to death. This movie worked for me. It just did. Like they really kind of make Buzz Aldrin look like an asshole in this movie, and.
Like an asshole in the bad way, or like a fuck
Just-
Buzz Aldrin's an asshole. Yeah.
Not like a bad guy, just like an asshole. Like I wouldn't want to be around him, asshole. Like
Buzz is the one that punched the dude in the face.
yeah,
right?
that's why it's like all right, maybe
Plausible.
possible. Like some people change. People change. All people change. Hairstyles change. But
Yeah, John Glenn's the one who got punched in the face. That's the
Did
what's
he?
the frequency Kenneth thing.
I thought that was Tom Brokaw
No,
or one of the newscasters.
I think that he was
Dan
interviewing
Rather or
him,
something.
but I thought it was John Glenn.
I don't know. I thought it was actually like one of the broadcast like news people. Dan Rather. I think it was Dan Rather got punched in the face for What's the Frequency Kenneth, which is his name. So even weirder. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It worked for me. It's a damn good movie, and I like immediately bought a 4K copy because I want to see all the detail because it's
Interesting.
spacey as fuck, and I like it.
Okay.
I don't mean that bad kind of spacey. I mean the good
Right.
space-esque. How about space-esque? I'll say that.
Space-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite
Yeah.
private launch
Elon
system.
Musk's
Yeah.
new space-esque.
So you watched the first Man.
Uh-huh.
I watched the second Ant-Man.
Ah.
And the Wasp.
And the Wasp.
There was
Yes.
plenty of those in this movie, too.
Yeah, right. I was trying to late entry for Segway of the Year there. It's fine.
That's one small step for a small guy.
One small step for Paul. One Paul step for Rudd.
Yeah.
One giant leap for
Evangeline.
kind. Yeah. There we go.
Yep.
Fucking nailed it. Teamwork. It's pretty good. It is holding up the standard of Marvel action movies, Marvel superhero action-y movies. It is better than at least one Thor, and probably better than a Hulk or two. I don't know if it's great. I honestly just kind of felt that it was good. It was fine. The after credit scene, after watching the movie, I kind of expected that to happen, that after credit scene. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I was expecting it to happen exactly as it did, and it did. So it'll be interesting to see where they take the movie from here, or where they take any of the characters from Ant-Man from here. Sorry, I had to collect my thoughts because I was trying to loop back to a conversation we were having earlier. The digital de-aging, they do a little bit more of it in this, and it is fucking dynamite again.
Yeah.
They are getting so fucking good at that. And when you were talking about it in, I believe it was Aquaman, I was just thinking about how well they did it in this movie, and it looks fucking natural. It is unreal how good Marvel is at doing it now. And others are getting there as well, but just they seem to have so much practice with it and with these specific people's faces that they're just...
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing it. I mean, the Michael Douglas and Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn, Michelle Pfeiffer stuff is just like... I mean, I was alive to see all these people at this age, and it's like, fuck, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's different when like you're watching, when Star Wars does it. It's like, okay, well, I grew up watching this movie, but I don't have a lot of like, I know what this person looks like in this scene because it's been etched in my memory. I didn't see them walking around in a lot of other movies, like at the time.
Right.
This just feels
all
like
these people we have.
Yeah. It's just like, oh yeah, I saw them on red carpets. It's just like that's what they fucking look like.
And I think the reason that they are so good at it with these people is that we have enough footage of them back then to use as a reference to go, okay, well, that's his nose kind of fell a little bit, so we got to raise that up a little bit and tuck his ears in. We don't have to guess. Nobody has to guess what these people look like when they were younger. We have direct reference and lots of footage from still pictures to video. So, but that was probably the most impressive thing about that movie. In the trailers, it seemed like they focused a lot more on sort of Ant-Man and the Wasp combined combat, and doing a bunch of fun trickery with object sizes. And that was like 10 or 15 minutes of the whole movie was size stuff. The rest was just, action and talky talk.
There's a lot going on in that.
Yeah.
More than I think that movie needs. Like, some of it could have waited. I think I enjoyed Walton Goggins, as I always do.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like, I don't know, I would have rather you have had your own entire Ant-Man movie to be a dick.
Probably.
Because he wanders out of the film for such a long time.
You forget he's gone, and then he shows back up. It's a little bit like Ron Perlman's character in Pacific Rim, where he just kind of shows back up. And,
and criminally doesn't show up in the sequel, as I recall.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's Walton Gogginsing his way around, which is delightful.
Yes.
He's just a treat. But it's fine. It's Marvel fine, which is better than most.
Yes. An average Marvel movie.
It's better than bad. It's good.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a log. Everyone wants a log. And that's the only other thing that I've seen that's of note. Of course, it's post-Christmas. I watched every Christmas movie that was available to me almost, including a rewatch of Santa Buddies at work one day. Which is...
I didn't watch any Christmas movies except for
Really?
Christmas Chronicles, yeah. Didn't watch Die Hard, Love Actually, none of it this year.
I watched Die Hard with my dad yesterday. We ate
Which-
Chinese.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's a weird one.
I feel like that's actually pretty much the fifth one, though.
It kind of is, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, don't watch that one.
You know what's weird is when they it was on IFC, and my dad just stopped, and it happened to be near the beginning of the movie.
The independent film Die Hard.
Yes. They were doing the 30th anniversary of Die Hard with Reginald VelJohnson sitting there for bumpers.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of weird.
Why?
And also, well, it just, it's an aging Reginald VelJohnson that is doing all of the Die Hard jokes that we've been making for
right.
the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And he's in like a Christmassy sweater and all that. It's just weird. Mm-hmm. Like not bad weird, but almost bad weird. And like, yeah, we know. We know, and we know that you know that we know that you know.
Mm-hmm.
We should maybe not do this. Maybe play it a little bit more straight-laced and
right.
have more commentary. But it takes fucking 3 hours to watch that movie that way.
Oh, sure.
With all the commercials. It's uncut, but with commercials.
Yeah.
It's wild.
That's a new basic cable thing.
I was like, I'd been sitting there and I was like, finished my traditional Chinese food dinner of, bachelor men on Christmas.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, we're only like halfway through the movie. I was like, I guess I'll take a nap or whatever while I'm waiting for this movie to finish. I've seen Die Hard 100 times. I know what happens. And I woke up and it was like I had slept for half an hour and like 10 minutes of movie time had gone by. And I'm like, what the fuck? When is this going to end? And I had Dad hit the guide button and it was another hour and a half to finish the movie. It was insane. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely insane. So don't watch it on fucking IFC. Just you own a DVD of it, I'm sure. Find it.
Yeah.
Put it in. But I didn't watch any new, aside from Christmas Chronicles, I don't think I watched any new Christmas movies. And that's about it. That's the news from Lake Wobegon. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm tired of speaking, to be honest.
Okay. Then.
Well, all right.
Except we kind of usually get you to speak a little bit more towards the end.
Say a little
I mean,
more.
speaking at length on
All right,
movie stuff,
okay.
I'm exhausted at giving a movie opinion now. I've done so many in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
There's dogs and cats living together. None of this makes any sense.
I have watched a number of movies this year. It's wild. My 2018 movies list.
It's wild.
It's wild. Shut up.
Is it like 8 this year?
No. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Holy shit! It's not a de facto top 5.
9, 10, 11. I'm
Whoa.
11.
Double
Holy shit.
digits.
What?
Yeah, that's
Shit,
big
shit.
fucking news for me. And I still,
Holy shit.
there's still.
You can be picky and choosy on
I
your
know.
top 5.
Actually, no.
Oh.
If I'm having to pick, I still got some bullshit on here.
Oh, okay.
Don't you worry.
I still got some Pompeii.
Hey, shut up.
Like the hurricane heist, Rampage.
Both those movies are perfectly
They're
entertaining.
Fine. They're fine. But I've got like 5 or 6 that I really want to watch before I finish the year out, and so that'll put me up at a fucking record-destroying 16, 17
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. Year of movie. Hashtag year of movie. But I think we're all done here.
Yeah, do we have any correspondence?
No.
No?
I
No
checked.
correspondence.
No.
Okay.
Tell the folks how
No
they
more
can get-
movies?
I don't think so. Tell the folks how they can get in touch with us so we can.
BMFcast.com.
Mhm.
Click on to BMFcast.com, as your parents would say, and go to all the
Get
buttons.
your parents to click on to
Yeah,
BMF.
get your parents to click
They
on
might
to
like us.
BMFcast.com.
Yeah, tell your parents and
They
have
might.
them tell their
they'll
parents.
love Chuck's jokes.
Yeah.
I tell them we like fucking add names up in here.
Yeah. So click on to BMFcast.com. Click on all the buttons on the right-hand side. They will take you to places like our Twitter, our YouTube channel, our Patreon, which I'll tell you more about later, our Discord. It'll take you to our eBay site where we sell all of our garbage DVDs that we don't want anymore. And all of that money goes to charity. Every single red cent, blue cent,
Copper
white
cent.
cent, copper cent goes to charity. It's we are donating the money to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and if you can't guess what that is for, then look it up. You got a fucking space phone in your pocket, you're fine.
You don't have to guess. It's a charity.
Right. Well, if you can't guess what they do,
You're getting a movie,
Yeah.
so
buy a movie for cheap, support the charity. It's all good stuff. Back to the Patreon thing. Patreon.com/BMFcast. That is where you can just give us money directly if you want to do that. Sign up, give us $1 a month, and we give you so much content in return. There's so much backlog content, so much new content coming out every week. We have some extra podcasts. We have some stuff from No Quarters. It's a lot of fun, and you can give us as much money a month as you want.
Totally can.
We're not gonna limit you by any means.
No.
And the more money you give, the more and faster you get content. So keep that in mind. You got some Christmas money, give it to us.
Right.
And then if you want, send us an email. bmf@bmfcast.com, or give us a call on the Garfield phone, 9105-JOCKS-BMF, or 910-5-JOCKS-9263. Call Garfield. He's lonely. And that's it. That's how to get in contact with us. Do all of those things, and
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you write the end of your story.
right.
Turn
Choose
to
your own-
page 35.
Choose
if
your
you-
own adventure
Yep.
podcast.
Oops, you fell off a cliff.
You were eaten by a groove.
Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Okie dokie.
I'm Harlow.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And for Mackie, this is BMFcast out. See you next time, mother bitches.
Oh, freeze, mother bitches.
See you in 2019, everybody.
Bye. Happy Cubic Good Junior
2018 can
Eve.
eat ass.
Will you hand me top row, second from the right? I want to see the Die Hard case. I don't remember if I bought a set that includes 5 or second cubicle from the right.
District 9, under
Yeah, just-
Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says it have all.
I think that one stops at 4. That's the one I have.
It stops at Live Free or Die Hard. Excellent.
Yeah.
Good choice.
I feel
Yeah,
the
there's
same
no
ways.
Die Hard with your dad.
This is the best set.
John McClane goes
I
to
still
Russia
love-
and is a dick.
What is the general opinion on Die Hard 3?
Oh, fucking the second best Die Hard.
Okay.
It's
I couldn't
pretty
remember.
close to the best Die
Yeah.
Hard.
I mean, if it wasn't
'Cause
for Die
I-
Hard, it would be the best Die Hard.
Yeah.
I really like Die Hard 3.
Yeah.
Die Hard 3
that's
is
with a
fucking
vengeance, right?
Die Hard
Great.
3's only problem really is that it doesn't know how to end.
Yeah.
And especially if you watch like the extras on the disc where they filmed like 8 endings and none of them work. It's like, how do you not know how to end a Die Hard movie?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, and somebody died.
Exactly. You set something on fire, you say that, and that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes 1, 3, 2, 4, and I don't even want to include
Yes.
5 is on like Crystal Skull territory. It's like, yeah, let's just pretend that didn't
Yep.
exist.
1, 3, 2, 4.
I don't know if I'll watch Funny Farm, maybe. We'll see if I'll watch Funny Farm.
I mean, I saw that in the 80s. I probably haven't seen it since then.
That is a Chevy Chase movie I do not think about. I think about Spies Like Us all the time.
Spies Like Us is great.
Yes.
I've seen it a dozen times. It's
I quote that movie to myself all the time, and I never know why.
Just is Spies Like Us the doctor?
Yes.
Doctor.
Yes. That's the only part of the movie that I remember that's quotable. There may be something in my vernacular that that comes out every once in a while that's from there that I don't realize it's from there. But I got that many, many years ago in one of those, in a 2-pack DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was like 2 for $10
Yeah.
DVD thing. Yeah, 2-pack. But those shitty cardboard DVD cases, that and Three Amigos.
Oh.
And watched them like every 2 or 3 days I'd watch one of those for a long time. Nothing sticks with me from Spies Like Us for some reason except for the doctor's part. Three Amigos, by the way, is still great. I don't know if anybody knew that Three Amigos is still great, but it's
It is
fine.
real good.
We fucking quote it all the time here, like just without even realizing.
Did I tell
it, I'm
you
like,
that someone actually like? I was like, "Are we best friends now?" Like Step Brothers
somebody
stuff.
do-
Well, like
over here?
no,
with you,
we were looking and like everybody was like staring at this plane for some reason, and and somebody goes like, I don't remember how I started it, but like he threw back the I think
it's a mail plane?
It's a mail plane. Yeah.
How can you tell?
How can you tell?
Yeah, like somebody threw it back at me, like volleyed it back at me, and I was like, "Did we just become best friends?"
Yeah, I will never, ever understand the disdain that movie got when it came out.
What, Three Amigos?
Yes. People were like, this is the fucking worst. And
Fuck those people.
I mean, I know I was a kid when I saw it and thought just things were funny, and maybe there was just something about grown-ups that didn't make sense to me, but there are so many things in that. Still, you look at them now. The entire saloon sequence is the funniest shit. Like, it's just ridiculously
My Little
funny.
Buttercup thing?
Yes.
Yeah. See, just to show how much of that movie I quote, whenever anyone says the word fattening,
Yes.
I always think of Fred Asparagus going, fattening? And I always say that. Like, someone goes, I just need to get some fattening. I'm like, go, fattening? Like,
Yep.
I can quote literally everything in that movie. That probably is like the thing I say the most. Like, I can't hear that word without going, fattening? We have to kill is like beer.
It's like beer. I say that about so many things. People are like, "What's that like?" It's like
It's
beer.
Like beer. Is it fattening? Fattening? I don't know. That man's a treasure. Or was, I think.
Such a great movie. That's weather.
Look at the pretty little gun on you.
I think, well, something like that, without Three Amigos, I don't think you ever get the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, like that first sequence in the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I don't think you get something like that. That has such Three Amigos-ass DNA in it.
Yeah, but there was a lot of cheesy ass like singing cowboy bullshit that spawned Three Amigos. I mean, old Gene Autry bullshit.
Well, yes,
Roy Rogers.
but like the really satirical sort of take on it. I think that's what takes us from Gene and Roy to the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I feel. I could be wrong.
I just like my favorite thing about Three Amigos is that it lives in the same universe as Singing in the Rain. I fucking love that so much. When they're doing the look up here in the background, there's the Singing Cavalier poster, which is the movie that they movie that they converted in Singing in the Rain. It's like that movie was coming out. It was supposed to be the Dueling Cavalier, and they're like talkies,
right,
the Singing Cavalier.
I just love that A Bug's Life is. Yeah.
What were you saying?
I just love that A Bug's Life is Three Amigos. Like when I went to see it,
I don't think I've ever seen A Bug's
Life.
Life.
Samurai.
Yeah, but I mean, it's really Three Amigos. Like, it is super duper going to a bar. Yeah. Oh, look at you guys. You're funny and you could protect us. I mean, it's like, I get that it's Seven Samurai, but it is really Three Amigos. Bug's Life. Man, I would tell you to go home and watch Bug's Life right now, except for who the bad guy is in the Bug's Life. So
ignore that. It's still fucking great.
Yeah.
You can't let that guy ruin all the good goddamn movies.
Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey? Okay,
Yeah.
you can say his name. He's
I
not
know.
like fucking Voldemort.
Well, he's back now. Someone said his name, and he's fucking back.
He's like Voldemort. He's back, whether people
I
say his name or not.
I started doing the math, and I was like, fuck. Of how many movies he's been in that like are way up in my top movies. And it's just like,
yep.
I really wanted to watch The Negotiator the other day and was just like, oh, no.
like, I can't undo Baby Driver. I can't
no.
Like, I mean, I can't not. I mean, Bug's Life is my favorite Pixar movie. I've said that from the beginning.
I agree with you.
And like, yeah, I was just like, I mean, I know it's problematic, but I still fucking love American Beauty. Like, it's a weird ass movie, but I love it. And yeah, I mean, Glengarry Glen Ross. It's just like, goddamn, so many fucking good movies, and I can't. I don't know.
I think the good thing about most Kevin Spacey movies is that there are a bunch of other people besides Kevin Spacey in them.
Sure.
So it's not like you're not watching a Kevin Spacey movie. It's just a movie Kevin Spacey happens to be in.
Yeah, I mean, I named a couple that where he's this kind of a star, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like Glengarry Glen Ross, you're not coming to that for Kevin Spacey.
No.
Bug's Life, you're not coming to that for that.
I think Baby Driver,
he's
a significant part of it, but he's not the...
Yeah, but he's still like a third tier in terms of like in the movie.
Yeah.
He's really not in The Negotiator until the third act, so that's pretty good.
I think you can still appreciate the films and performances. You just have to keep a mental asterisk for yourself, and like the stuff going. If he does any work going forward, like I can't get behind that. I don't think.
Well, that video he put
he's
out,
not.
Holy shit, man!
What was it? Was it him?
It was him in character as Frank Underwood, addressing both the lackluster way the last season went, and his own accused crimes.
Just on his personal YouTube?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
exactly.
Who?
And someone filmed it because
Who
someone.
says-
Yeah, it's a 3.5 minute monologue where he memorized the whole thing. So this was written ahead of time. Someone is there filming it. So this is produced in some way, shape, or form. Someone was on board with him.
Was it Harvey Weinstein that produced it?
I don't. It's remarkable. I mean, it is.
I didn't watch that.
I had to know what people were talking about, and I watched it, and I was just like, he's not
Should have
actually.
watched it on Vimeo so he didn't get views on his YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
but it was just like, I can't believe he's doing this, and like, this is insane.
In character as Frank Underwood, is that
Yeah.
that man needs somebody to come to him and put him in check, because that is not a thing that sane people do.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, you can post whatever you want to YouTube, and he's not in jail yet for anything. He only got formally charged the day he put out the fucking video, which
Yeah.
was a real weird.
Well, not even charged. I think it'd be. Is it not charged? Right? It's like
Charged, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he get charged?
He got
Okay.
formally charged the same day that video came out. That's why it was so weird. Like, he
Oh, no,
got.
I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was like actually got a trial or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something's going forward.
Okay.
Charges were filed against him.
Yeah.
Officially.
So, but man, it was so strange. Like, I could understand if he thinks he's innocent, having that show yanked away from him might lead to some bitterness. But the way he that video is
You
something
don't go
else.
in character of the the character that you played on the show that got taken away from you
Yeah.
because of a sexual assault claim, and have a 3-minute rant on YouTube.
Yeah, but like half of that rant is obviously him talking as Kevin Spacey, not as Frank Underwood. And
Well, wasn't I mean like the day that like the whole thing came out? Didn't he basically do the straw dog gay argument? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
he
it was
said-
handled very poorly.
he
from
put
the
out a
get-go.
statement saying, "Look, as a gay man, we all face
Yes.
challenges, and I'm going to go away now."
Where it was like, oh, maybe if I drop that
Right.
nugget, like people will just forget about the
Yeah.
rest of it.
Like that's
It's like,
like
oh,
some sort of
we've
Yes.
bantered
That's-
about- yeah.
yeah.
He
That was the
sort
last
of
time
came
anyone
out
heard from him.
as
Yeah.
bi
Yeah.
or gay, and thought that was an absolution, and
Yep.
then went and hid for a while.
This is the first
This
time.
is not the way to come back on the scene for
No,
sure.
It's weird. And I get it.
Don't
like,
do any of that, kids. Any of it.
Oh, we're over there.
Oh, we're over there.
Yeah.
Don't do any of it. Don't sexually assault people. For one, that's the most
I mean,
important
you can
thing.
Be gay. You can do that.
Yes,
part,
be
but
gay.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Totally be gay.
You can also be an actor, but other than
Be
that,
an actor. Be a gay actor.
Be a gay actor. Yeah, be the gayest actor you can be. I believe.
Totally
in you.
gay.
Don't do the sexual assault.
No.
Don't do the I'm being oppressed because I'm gay. Look at me, I'm gay. I'm being oppressed
Right. When you're
as
accused
a result
crimes.
of being accused of sexual assault.
right.
Help, I'm
Don't
being repressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use that as an excuse.
Yeah. No.
Do not do this weird post your rant to YouTube and a strange character thing.
Correct. Don't do that.
Straw dog.
You did say straw
man.
dogs, yeah.
Sorry.
It was a setup.
I know. I just thought it just like rewind for a second. in my
Speaking
brain.
of straw dogs, Home Alone is still magnificent.
I mean, it's going to be straw dogs when the police raid into his house to take him away to jail.
Hopefully he doesn't set up a bunch of fucking booby traps for the police. Booty traps. All right. I tried to watch Gremlins too, but I didn't. No, Gremlins the first.
As well.
I was as well. Yeah, I was way too tired. I was like 3 o'clock on Christmas Eve that I started Gremlins. That was a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I got myself into a mindset of if I'm going to watch anything, it has to be a 2018 movie.
Yeah.
And haven't broken it really, except when something like IMDb or Amazon has lied to me and the movie didn't turn out to be a 2018 movie.
Like what?
I just had to watch the fucking
Don't
Christmas
count
music.
Annihilation. Don't count those ones where it's like it came out in 3 theaters a week
no,
before
no.
the end of the year. Cause
No,
like,
I'm talking about the stuff Amazon does, where
Oh.
it's like we put a 2018 date on this 2015 movie.
Oh no. I'm just saying like gotta watch out for those ones where it's like, yeah, it was in like 3 cities and 3 theaters, so it could be considered for an Academy Award.
Yeah, no, I'm over that.
I just had to watch the Christmas movies and
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, I saw Elf and A Christmas Story 100 times because it was on every household I went to for holiday festivities. But
How many holidays do you go to? Santa Claus or houses?
3.
Oof. All right.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in to our fantastic post-Christmas podcast. We'll see you next year. Stay classy.